Live from the Maverick Center in West Valley City, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's Game 3 of the Mountain Division Semifinal series between the Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. It's Game 3 of the best-of-7 series, and it's the first of 2, maybe 3 straight here at Maverick Center. Utah leads the series 2-0, as last Wednesday they shut out the Steelheads 3-0. They got an empty netter at the end by Jordan Martell, and it's going to be interesting to see what happened there as Miner stopped all 43 shots he saw, and the Grizzlies really got a good performance from Jordan Martell that night. He had 1 goal and 1 assist. In Game 2 on Friday night, the Grizzlies got off to a 2-0 lead, and then Idaho scored 2 goals in the third period, but the empty netter that was scored by Dylan Fitz with a little less than 3 minutes left in regulation, that turned out to be the game winner, as the shots were pretty close to even in Game 2, and the Grizzlies came away with a 3-2 lead, and they lead the best-of-7 series 2-0. It'll be fascinating to see what happens here tonight, as it's the same goaltending matchup we had in the first 2 games of the series. Trent Miner is going for Utah, and he'll be opposed by Adam Shield, who's going to be starting for the 3rd straight game for the Idaho Steelheads. Well, it's going to be an interesting one here tonight, as we'll be joined by Guy Chiarenza for the broadcast here on YouTube for the audio feed, and Flow Sports for all the action on the video feed. And remember that the winner of this series will take on the winner of the Allen Americans Kansas City Mavericks series. Allen leads that set 2-1. When we come back, we'll talk with Guy Chiarenza and get his thoughts on tonight's game, as we're in business on a Wednesday night, and you're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to Maverick Center. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Face-off will be in about 17 minutes or so. Face-off should be at about 7:10 as Grizzlies are on the hunt for a Kelly Cup. And I think a lot of Grizzlies fans were a little bit surprised in a pleasant way that Utah is back for Game 3 with a 2-0 series lead. Guy, it's been great defense, great goaltending by Trent Miner, and just enough goal scoring. I mean, after all, with Idaho's goaltender Adam Shield, you're not going to get a ton of goals against him. The Grizzlies in the first 2 games have scored just enough to take a 2-0 series lead.
It's been a very tight defensive series, Tyson. It starts in net with a great goaltending duel. We've got Trent Miner versus Adam Shield, 2 excellent goaltenders for the respective clubs. And you're right, the Grizzlies are just getting just enough scoring. And really, it's those depth pieces that are getting the job done.
Idaho's going to be without a couple key players. In fact, they're hanging out on press row right now. Ryan Domowski is out of the Idaho lineup. He had 30 regular season goals. And remember, he had a game last season against Utah where he had 5 goals and 1 assist. And Matt Register is not in the lineup for Idaho, but they do get back Jordan Kawaguchi, who didn't play in the first 2 games of the series. Kawaguchi had 26 goals for them this season. So that's a couple big subtractions to the Idaho lineup, especially Register, who's about as strong a defenseman as there is in this league.
Yeah, I think we were wondering what Sheen would do, Everett Sheen, the Steelheads coach, what he would do after Game 2, because really it seemed like what direction would he go in, and it seems like he opts to take out Ryan Domowski for Kawaguchi, who's able to come back into the lineup after injury. It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out, because Domowski is a great player in his own right, scored 30 goals, had a phenomenal season for the Steelheads. So it's going to be interesting to see how that subtraction either benefits or hurts the Steelheads. So I think it makes for an interesting matchup here tonight.
I highly doubt they're healthy scratches. I imagine they're both injured and unavailable to play. The other scratches for Idaho, Demetrius Kumansis and Nick Canati. For the Grizzlies, Dakota Raby's out of the lineup. He got hit. He got sandwiched by 2 Steelheads late in the first period of Game 2, and he's not in the Grizzlies lineup. Zach Sekos is out once again. I think there was a hope that he'd be ready to go for game 3. The Grizzlies do add Mick Messner to the lineup tonight, and he's going to be making his first postseason appearance, a Merrimack product. I think he's going to add a little bit of skill to the table and a blue-collar worker.
I agree, Tyson. Really what we saw last year in the Grizzlies' run to the Western Conference Final, it was those guys that were signed out of college that really made an impact in the playoffs and got the Grizzlies some depth scoring down the way to the Western Conference Finals. So I think Mick Messner is going to be a big piece for the Grizzlies here in these playoffs. If they can find a way to get him involved, get him taking shots, just being a part of the action, I think he's going to have a big game here today, and I think that's going to propel the Grizzlies to a victory here tonight.
You're going to need forward depth if you're going to beat this Idaho Steelheads team, which broke a league record for wins in a single regular season with 58. I think the Grizzlies do have 3, maybe 4 forward lines that are certainly capable. You talk about the top line with the Victoria Royals connection and Brandon Cutler and Taryn Pfizer, along with Nolan Ritchie. 3 Utes are in the WHL. Ritchie had an outstanding WHL career with Brandon. You talk about the forward line that I'm looking forward tonight. Cameron Wright, Kyle Betts, and Jordan Martell, the Rooster. I think that's got a lot of potential.
I agree, Tyson. I mean, Jordan Martell, the Rooster, I mean, he's just been on fire over the last month or so. Really been a great addition for the Grizzlies early in the season. He's just playing such great hockey right now. And you pair him with Kyle Betts and Cameron Wright. Those 3 really have seemed to generate a lot of chemistry with each other. And so you got a deadly line on that second line there. But I'm really interested to see how the team plays as a whole. Really just the way the Grizzlies have been winning the first 2 games of this series was just depth scoring. Every single line was going out and making an impact. So I really look at guys like Tyler Penner to make an impact in this game, maybe not necessarily on the score sheet, but I think him and Keaton Jamison, as long as they're winning faceoffs and getting the Grizzlies possession, maybe being a net front presence, I think that'll be big for the Grizzlies as well.
Watch out for the special teams. Idaho, I believe in their last 9 games, is something like 0 for 25 on the power play. They've really struggled on the man advantage as of late. As for the Grizzlies, they have got 1 power play goal in this series. The penalty kill's been perfect. I think special teams tonight's going to be critical because if you look at some of the adjustments that Idaho's looking to make from game 2 to game 3, I think the power play is right there at the top of their list.
Yeah, and I think if Idaho wants a chance to get back in this series, I think it is going to have to start on that power play. Really, one of the best units in the league. So if they can get that jump started, I think that would be huge for them. And for the Grizzlies, you got to find a way to adapt because certainly that power play is going to change. Have to just kind of retool on the fly in these playoffs because you're right, it's been ice cold over the last couple of tries. So for the Grizzlies, you got to be ready for whatever Idaho throws at you. It's going to be different from what you saw in the first 2 games.
And goal's going to be at a premium, obviously, with the way Trent Miner's looked as of late. He's had his A game at least 3 times in a row, and he's been outstanding for Utah. He's been a brick wall. But on Idaho's side, Adam Shields, one of the best goaltenders in the league. And so you think about the first 2 games, really it was 2 goals by Utah in each of the first 2 games with an empty netter at the end. You think about that Betts goal in game 1 kind of being one of those really odd ones where it bounced off the glass and hit the top of the net. I mean, Grizzlies have had a couple breaks here. Other than that, it seems like Shields been equally as dominant.
Well, and I think the common denominator on all those goals against Shield, minus the Taryn Pfizer goal in game 2, has just been they've been very unconventional. Just tips out in front, screens in front of Shield, and that's how you got to beat a guy like Adam Shield. If he can see it, he's going to stop it. And the same thing can be said about Trent Miner. So look for a lot of net front action in these games where you got guys piled up in the crease. Maybe teams are taking bombs from the blue line, just trying to get a tip out in front. Because really, as it seems, heading into game 3, that's the only way you're going to beat these goalies.
Or against a team like Idaho, or you saw in the NHL yesterday where Edmonton scored a goal or bounced off the guy's face and it ended up in the back of the net. That was kind of a tough way to redirect one, but in the playoffs, that's how sometimes goals get scored.
Yeah, well, it was weird because that happened twice on the same day because that happened to Zach Hyman of Edmonton, but it also happened to Carolina Sebastian Aho where it bounces off his face and goes into the goal. So, I mean, really, it's just one of those plays where if you're out in front of the net, you pay that price, and sometimes it makes the difference. You're going to be feeling it the next day, but, hey, a goal's a goal.
Who's your pick for the Optum first goal of the game tonight? Optum is putting you at the center of everything we do. Optum is committed to making healthcare work better, leading the way to better experiences, better health, and lower costs for you. Who's your pick to score first for Utah tonight?
Well, Tyson, we've been talking about those unconventional goals. I think the Grizzlies, if they want to score in this game, they're going to have to do a good job of screening Shield out in front. So that's why I'm going to pick Kyle Mayhew just from the blue line. Just going to fire a shot, and it's going to go through everybody into the back of the net. I think that's how the Grizzlies score the first goal of the game.
Always seems like it can be a little bit random who's going to score Utah's first goal. I got Cameron Wright. That's not random, though. He led the Grizzlies with 29 goals this season. He usually gets a lot of his goals later in games. He obviously had 9 game winners this year, but I got Cameron Wright scoring from the left circle on just kind of a hustle play. He throws a shot on Schill. Schill makes the initial save. It goes back to Wright, and then Wright gets it back and then fires it past the Idaho netminder.
Oh, that would be sweet, Tyson. And it's not entirely out of the question either, because another big factor for the Grizzlies winning games 1 and 2 was their speed and their ability from go to D to offense. It seems like it's just a snap of a finger. So really that transition game for the Grizzlies was on fire in games 1 and 2. If they want to win here tonight, it's going to have to be equally as good or better.
It's going to be important to get off to a fast start, but it's also going to be important for Ryan Kanasowicz and Jared Pike, the two Grizzlies coaches, to see what kind of adjustments Idaho made. As after all, there was 4 days off between games 2 and 3. Idaho had to have made some sort of adjustments. You know that they probably made some changes on the power play. What other changes Idaho made, I think Kanasowicz and Pike have to be pretty alert and figuring out what that is and making adjustments accordingly.
And I have confidence that they will be. I mean, this coaching staff has done a great job all season long of just adapting on the fly. I mean, there was a point in time when the Grizzlies were last in the division, and they were able to make the playoffs just because they were able to evolve and change over the course of the season. So I think they'll be ready for what Idaho throws at them, but I think the Grizzlies need to be aggressive on the forecheck to start this game, but they also need to be a little cautious in their own zone. If they're able to do that, and then hopefully they'll get off to a great start and score the first goal.
It's going to be fun here tonight at Maverick Center. If you're in the West Valley area, come on down and enjoy some playoff hockey with us. If not, we got the video feed on Flow Sports and the audio feed on YouTube. If you're new to the YouTube broadcast, just pretend it's a radio. Just pretend it's an audio broadcast with kind of a weird visual component mixed in, where you get to look at us during the game, watching the game.
Yep, two guys watching a hockey game, having a good time. I mean, it's a radio with a comment section and two fine-dressed men. So, it should be a lot of fun here, and I'm really looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're back here at the Maverick Center. Great atmosphere. Grizz fans, they're the best. And Grizzmania is going to be in full force here tonight for a playoff game.
That's Guy Chiarenza. I'm Tyson Whiting. No, this cost me like $20 at Walmart. Trust me, it was a very, very cheap outfit I'm wearing tonight. When we come back to the Grizzlies pregame report, we'll go over the lineups for both teams. It's the Grizzlies and the Steelheads coming up next on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Let's get to the lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Idaho Steelheads, who won 58 regular season games, 32 of them at home. They won 26 road games during the regular season. They're led by head coach Everett Sheen, who was the ECHL Coach of the Year this season. The Steelheads are just absolutely unbelievable in terms of what they did in the regular season, and they're looking for some postseason success here tonight. In net's going to be Adam Schill, who in 2 playoffs games has a record of 0-2 with a 2.05 goals against average and .926 save percentage. Schill's save percentage in the regular season was around .930. That's the team save percentage of the Idaho Steelheads. They do an outstanding job protecting leads, and they also do a good job in front of the net. In fact, the Steelheads led the league in goals per game, and they led the league in goals allowed per game as well. The starting defensive pairing for Idaho, Dawson Bardo and Casey Johnson. One notable absence to the Idaho defensive unit is Matt Registers, actually hanging out on press row this evening. Register was a plus 53 this season, but he is out due to injury and not in the Idaho lineup. Starting forwards for the Steelheads, watch out for Wade Murphy. He's been outstanding against Utah this year. He is scoreless through 2 playoff games. He'll be wearing number 6. He'll be paired up with A.J. White, the Steelheads captain. It's the 4th year that he's been Idaho's captain. He spent 2 years ago with the Grizzlies and was part of Utah's 2021 playoff run. White had 40 points for the Grizzlies 2 years ago in the 2020-21 season, the year that Idaho did not participate in. Watch out for A.J. White, who comes up big in big games. During the regular season, he had 20 goals and 29 assists in 70 games. And we'll also see Jordan Kawaguchi in there for Idaho for the first time. Now, Ryan Domowski is a scratch, but Kawaguchi replaces him. Domowski out due to injury. Kawaguchi this season had 26 goals and 26 assists in 58 games. If I remember right, I think he was named the Steelheads team MVP. He was a plus 25 this year. He's 5'9", 185 pounds. In particular, watch out for Kawaguchi when Idaho's on the power play. That's the starting lineup for Idaho. The defensive pairing is Casey Johnson and Dawson Bardo. The forwards are Wade Murphy, A.J. White, and Jordan Kawaguchi. The Grizzlies wearing the black jerseys with white numbers and professional green trim. They are led by second-year head coach Ryan Kanasowicz. His assistant is the Sandy, Utah native Jared Pike. Grizzlies won 3-0 last Wednesday in game 1 of this set, and they won 3-2 in game 2. Starting in net is the Grizzlies' 2023 team MVP Trent Miner. Miner this series is 2-0 with 1 shutout, and even 1 goals against average and .973 save percentage. Miner in his last 3 games has stopped 104 of 106. So Miner's going to be in net. His backup is Garrett Metcalf. Starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies, James Shearer, who's scoreless in 2 playoff games. Shearer's got an A on his sweater. He is 5'9", 185 pounds. He'll be wearing number 10. And he'll be paired up with Luke Martin, who last season was named to the league's all-rookie team. Miner was an all-star representative of the Jacksonville Icemen this season. He had 10 goals last season and 10 goals this year. He had 2 playoff goals for the Grizzlies last season. He'll be wearing number 44, sporting a mustache and a mullet. Starting defensive pairing is Shearer and Martin. The starting forwards, Cameron Wright, who led the Grizzlies with 29 goals and 63 points this season. Wright has 1 assist in 2 playoff games. He'll be wearing number 15. He'll be lined up next to Kyle Betts, number 61. Betts has 1 goal in 2 games in the postseason. Betts spent the majority of this year with the AHL's Belleville Senators, where he appeared in 40 games. And the Rooster, Jordan Martell's in there. He had 1 goal and 1 assist in game 1. Martell was held scoreless in game 2. That's the first time in 12 games that Martell was held off the stat sheet. Scratches for the Grizzlies tonight, defenseman Bryson Martin and Kyle Pouncey. Forwards Zach Sekos and Dakota Rabier are out. Mick Messner is in the Grizzlies lineup for the first time in the postseason. Guy, it's going to be interesting to see. And we talked about that forward line that's going to start things out for Utah. Wright, Betts, and Martell, they can end up setting the tone tonight.
Yeah, I think so, Tyson. And really, that's the Grizzlies' energy line. We know what the Victoria Royals connection can do with Cutler and Pfizer. But really, the transition game with that line with Wright and Martell and Betts, that's your speed line. And so for the Grizzlies, watch them transition from the defensive zone to the offensive zone. That's their bread and butter. I think they're going to make an impact in that aspect of the game.
Aaron Tho's been outstanding for the Grizzlies in this series. He is a +3, as well as Kyle Mayhew and Keaton Jamison. Jordan Martell and Tyler Penner are each a +2 in this series. The Grizzlies outscored Idaho 6-2 in the first 2 games of this set. Utah's a goal from 6 different skaters. The Grizz are 1 for 1 on the power play and a perfect 8 for 8 on the penalty kill through 2 games. And watch out for the third period. That's been Utah's money frame, where they have outscored the Steelheads 4-2 in the first 2 games of this series. Well, it's going to be a ton of fun here tonight. Grizzlies and the Steelheads, it's a playoff atmosphere, partly because it's a playoff game. And with Utah coming home winning the first 2 games here at Maverick Center, they are looking to make that upset and win this 3rd game. As it's the first of 2, maybe 3 here at Maverick Center. It's game 3, and faceoffs coming up next on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick 6 or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
It's a great night for hockey as it's Game 3 of the Mountain Division Semifinal Series between the Utah Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads. Utah leads this series 2-0 as the heavy underdog. They're facing the Idaho Steelheads, who set a league record for wins in a regular season, and they also lead the league in goals per game and the fewest goals allowed per game this season. For the Grizzlies, with behind great goaltending, great defensive play, and timely goals in the third period, with Utah outscoring Idaho 4-2 in the first 2 games of this series. They lead 2-0. They look to make it 3-0 here at Maverick Center, trying to protect home ice. But in 8 regular season games, Idaho won 7 of them here at Maverick Center. So Utah looking to protect home ice. Guy, what do the Grizzlies need to do here in the first 20 minutes to get a lead?
Well, Tyson, the Grizzlies need to feed off the crowd energy. I mean, the Grizzmaniacs are in the house. Grizzmania's in full force. It's a playoff game. You mentioned that playoff-type atmosphere. This is it. This is the playoffs. This is what you play for. This building is rocking. The Grizzlies need to feed off that energy, come out, establish a strong forecheck, really just find a way to continue play in Idaho's zone. You don't want to find yourself in the defensive zone. You apply the pressure early and are able to sustain it. I see no trouble in the Grizzlies getting that first goal.
Got a good goaltending matchup once again. It's the same 2 goaltenders that we saw in each of the first 2 games. Trent Miner for the Grizzlies and Adam Scheel for Idaho. Watch out for the Rooster, Jordan Martell. He was held off the scoring sheet in Game 2 for the first time in 12 games. He'll be out there with Kyle Betts and Cameron Wright. Luke Martin and James Shearer start for Utah. Starting for Idaho, taking the draws, A.J. White out there with Murphy and Kawaguchi. Idaho wins the draw. Casey Johnson out there with Dawson Bardo defensively. Idaho dumps it in. Grizzlies chase after it. Sure over to Cameron Wright. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we see it from high top section 114. In your mind's eye, see it on YouTube. Yeah, I know what YouTube's known for. We'll try to paint a picture for you. Johnson skates behind his net as A.J. White, the Steelheads captain. 4th year he's been the Steelheads captain. Loses the puck. Cameron Wright over to the right side. Locates it. But Wade Murphy gets there first. Johnson over to Bardo deep in the Steelhead zone, near side. Moving out to center ice. A.J. White gets it. White skates down the middle. He'll veer it off to the left. Wade Murphy, the shot, he scores! 35 seconds in. Wade Murphy goes top shelf on Trent Miner. And the Steelheads, for the first time this series, have drawn first blood.
Well, it's not the start you wanted for the Grizzlies, Tyson. The Steelheads really just took the puck and waltzed into the Grizzlies zone. Really great play to just dish it off to the left side. And the Steelheads have a 1-0 lead. A.J. White's going to get an assist, but the goal was scored by Wade Murphy, who had 21 goals in 54 games in the regular season. The chairs aren't yet warm here at Maverick Center, and Idaho has a 1-0 lead. Nolan Ritchie will take the draw against Jade Miller. The first shot of the contest finds the back of the net. Draw won by Idaho. They skate from left to right as Patrick Cutler moves it ahead. It bounced off the stick of Justin Misiak, the cousin of former Grizzly forward Ryan Misiak. As Mayhew throws over to Taryn Pfizer. Pfizer scored a goal in Game 2. He'll toss it across to Cutler near side. Cutler around center ice, moves out to the Idaho blue line. Now Owen Hedrick, the league's defenseman of the year, will get it. Cutler takes it away. Zane Franklin delivers a hit on Cutler as Ritchie crosses center ice. He collides with Jade Miller. Now the puck goes to Zane Franklin. He'll skate along the far wall. He looks to center it, and the puck is picked off by Trent Miner as Franklin lifted the puck in the air, trying to get Misiak cutting in front of the net. Miner makes his first save as there's 18:55 left in the first. We're just underway, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. Get a cold beverage, maybe some chips and dip, and enjoy a little bit of Wednesday with us. I think really interesting, Tyson, to see how the Grizzlies respond to this. I mean, they haven't been trailing in either of the first 2 games of this series, so this is new territory for the Grizzlies in the playoffs. I wonder what they'll do here.
Idaho's goal was scored by Wade Murphy, with A.J. White and Dawson Bardo getting the assists. As the draw is going to be in the far circle of the Grizzlies zone. Taking it as Ty Pelton Bice against Utah's Keaton Jamison. Jamison won some big face-offs in Game 2. Utah wins the draw. The Grizzlies captain Connor McDonald will throw it to Dylan Fitz in the near side. Fitz across to Thomas in the slot of the Grizzlies zone. A throw it to the near side for Walker. It goes past him. He got redirected. Snow icing as Adam Scheel behind his net. will throw it towards Justin Ducharme, number 11. Back to Cody Haskinen. Now Pelton Bice gets it on the far side. He'll lift it in the air. Thomas chases after it. And it's McDonald getting it at center ice. So move it ahead to Jamison. Back to Thomas along the near side. Thomas moves out to center ice for Fitz, who will tap it off his stick, and it goes deep into the Steelhead zone. Oh, I thought Fitz gained center ice there and tipped it from there, but they call icing on Utah with 18:23 left in the first.
It was close, Tyson, but I think a player to watch for right now is Johnny Walker. I mean, he's been barking at a few Steelheads already in this game, and we're not even 2 minutes in, but he's exchanging a few words with some Idaho players. And, he might be that spark guy that gives you that energy to get the Grizzlies back into this game.
Draws going to be the near side. A lot of action in the Grizzlies zone here early on. 18:23 left in the first. The only shot taken so far is Wade Murphy, 35 seconds in, and he found the back of the net. Jamison will take the draw against Jack Becker. Becker, first full season as a pro. And the draw won by Utah. Fitz throws it to the near corner of Utah's zone. Thomas delivers a hit. Thomas may be the biggest of all the Grizzlies at 6'5", 215. Idaho's Zach Walker is the third star in game one. Throws to Bardo in the high slot. They got righty shot that goes wide. Puck bounces towards the far goal line. Thomas will get it to Miner, and Miner covers up as Thomas is boxing out Idaho. Just kind of nudges the puck towards the Utah netminder, who covers up with 18:07 left in the first.
Well, and that's what the Grizzlies are going to have to do, Tyson. They're going to have to find a way to keep Steelheads out of that blue paint at the top of the crease. Because we talked about it in the pregame. Trent Miner can see it. He's probably going to stop it. So it's going to be those screens, those deflections out in front. That's how Idaho is going to get most of their goals. And so the Grizzlies need to find a way to clear the crease.
Tyler Penner, the Grizzlies Iron Man, takes his first shift of the game. He'll take the draw against Idaho's Jack Becker. 18:07 left in the first. We've had quite a few whistles here early on. Colin Klein endorsed and Fred Peterson are the linesmen. Referees are David Lilly and Austin O'Rourke. Idaho wins the draw. Shot saved by Miner in the butterfly position. Messner looking as puck goes to the right point. Kudla gets it. Bouncing off of Colton Keller, his teammates. Now Zach Walker moves up top for Kudla. Kudla fumbles it around near the blue line. Messner pushes him. Puck stays in. As Walker throws to the slot, it bounced off a Pfizer stick. Now Messner gets it. He'll throw it across. It's picked off by Kudla. Puck glides towards Utah's bench. As Becker dumps it in, Becker gets blasted by Utah's Brandon Cutler. Now Shearer gets hit as they'll move it out to Nick Messner. Now across towards Penner. He couldn't reach it. Now Walker tried to drop it off, but skating the other way is the goal scorer, Wade Murphy. Messner dumps it in, but not all the way for an icing, as Hedrick will get to Bardo, so he'll bounce off the end boards as Bardo gets the puck. He'll skate down the middle. He gets around Jordan Martell as battle along the far side. As Bardo gets around Cameron Wright, he's now on neutral ice. They'll throw it towards the Utah blue line. It tapped off the stick of Jordan Kawaguchi, who's playing for the first time this series. Murphy pushes Aaron Tho in the corner on the near side. Action deep in the Grizzlies zone. As Bice over towards White, he'll move it ahead to Hedrick. Across to Johnson, number 13. Around the net, Kawaguchi to the right side. Gets it poked away by Mayhew. As Martell moves out to center ice. Grizzlies throw it across to Betts, who's near Idaho's bench. Betts dumps it in. He collides along the boards as Casey Johnson, one of Idaho's bigger defensemen, knocks him down. As puck goes to the right point, Martin throws to the corner for Betts. Now he gets it to Cameron Wright. Now back to Martin in the right point. Martin skates towards the far corner. He'll get to the goal line. Now Martin around the net. Martin skates towards the left side, feeds it across, and Idaho picks it off. Zane Franklin will carry it out to center ice, 2-on-2. He'll step over the offensive line as he'll stop along the far boards. He'll throw it back to the point. It bounced off a Grizzly, and it goes out to center ice. Franklin retreats it. He'll skate back in from the right side. He'll skate to the circle, take a righty shot, and it's blocked by Martin. Franklin gets it back. He'll toss it around. Misiak over in the far corner gets it. Misiak wearing number 19. He'll throw it back towards Jade Miller. Franklin behind the net. Feeds it out in front. Misiak swings and misses from the left circle as Richie gets pushed. Franklin throws to the far circle, taken away by Johnny Walker. What's happened off the far glass for Richie. He'll dump it in. Richie gets around Haskinen. Richie to the far corner, deep in the Steelhead zone. As 2-on-2 battle. Haskinen over there. Now Richie gets pushed by Hedrick. Now Hedrick comes out of the pile with the puck. Hedrick throws to the far side. It bounced off of Pfizer. Rolls back to another Steelhead. They move it ahead to Willie Niram, who gets to center ice and dumps it in. McDonald in the near corner. He collides with Jade Miller. And McDonald goes flying into the stanchion. Corey Thomas gets it. He skates around Miner's net. As Thomas moves it ahead for Pfizer wearing a shield. Pfizer gets it to center ice for Cutler. Cutler crosses center. He'll drive it in. As Grizzlies make a line change, it bounced off the end board. Shield thought about covering up, but then he gives way. As Idaho continues action about 5 minutes in, Steelheads lead 1-0. Puck goes out towards center ice. Idaho fires towards Miner. He gets on two hops in the ice. He'll get it to Tho. who tosses ahead. Utah crosses center. Jamison gets the puck. He'll drop it off for Walker. Walker skates the right circle. Take a righty shot. Saved by Shield. Now Walker gets it back. He'll throw it to Tho. He skates towards the far corner. Tho around the net. He's now to the left side. Tho near the boards. Throws to Jamison. He looks to feed it out in front. Walker couldn't reach it. Fits along the far boards. Gets it. Right point. Righty shot. Saved by Shield. And the Idaho netminder holds on. That's the first shot taken by the Grizzlies. Idaho took the first 4 in the contest.
Yeah, Tyson, it seems like the Grizzlies came out a little flat to start this game. Now they find themselves behind by a goal. And really, that right there was the best offensive sequence the Grizzlies have had in this game so far. And you're right, they went the first 5 minutes without taking a shot. So they need to find a way to start sustaining pressure in the offensive zone and really get that offensive machine working.
Idaho scored 35 seconds in as Wade Murphy, who had 21 goals this season, connected for his first of the playoffs. A.J. White and Dawson Bardo with the assists. Draws in the far circle. Kyle Betts will take it against Jack Becker. As the draw won by the Grizzlies. Luke Martin right side, righty shot. It's blocked by Walker. Zach Walker, who throws out to center ice. Kyle Betts gets it. Walker loses his helmet. He wants a penalty. He'll skate towards the bench. He was near it anyway. Grizzlies dump it in. They got redirected at neutral ice. Martell skates towards the far corner. He'll get it to Betts. Betts gets pushed along the boards by Becker. Cameron Wright skates around Idaho's net. Walker now to the right circle. Take a righty shot. Saved by Shield. Rebound goes out to Becker. He'll throw it to Cudla. Gets to Hedrick just around the goal line. Hedrick gets pushed along the glass as Cameron Wright goes down. No call on the play. Wright gets back to his feet. Action behind Idaho's net. Betts and Wright battling with 3 Steelheads. Idaho comes out of the pile with the puck as Cudla will bounce it off a Betts stick. Betts keeps it in the offensive zone. He'll dump it back off the Idaho end wall as Martell over towards Wright. Hedrick lost his stick. Now puck goes back to the left point for Martin. He'll take a righty shot. It's blocked by the stick of Wade Murphy. As Idaho looks like they've got a little bit more aggression here tonight. Wade Murphy loses the puck at the point. Now he gets it back. Now Mayhew at center ice will throw it across as Martin chips to his right. Brandon Cutler skates towards the right circle. Now he skates towards his left. Cutler with a lefty shot. Saved by Shield. Rebound goes to Cutler. He tries to feed it out in front and bounced off a skate and goes to Mayhew in the high slot. Mayhew with a lefty shot and it's blocked by Kawaguchi. Puck towards the near side. Wade Murphy gets it. He gets hit by Mayhew at center ice. And he gets the worst in the puck as Cutler throws it across the Pfizer. Now to Mayhew, who skates down the middle. Mayhew gains center ice left wing. He'll skate in. He gets poked away by Bardo. A lot of redirections and deflections by Idaho's here so far. Casey Johnson along the near side lifts it in the air. And it looks like it's going to be icing on the Steelheads. Big time hit in the corner. It looks like the fans here so far. Now Brandon Cutler and Casey Johnson battle. Both guys still have their gloves on, but Cutler drags down Casey Johnson. And now looks like some more pushing with other players as Zane Franklin and Corey Thomas meet. Now McDonald has Franklin in a headlock. McDonald tried to push down Franklin. Franklin drags down McDonald. And none of the linesmen wanted to step in. They were looking at Cutler. Now they'll step in as Corey Thomas and Dawson Bardo tie up. Bardo throws his stick. McDonald and Franklin. Now McDonald throws a punch at Franklin. He threw it right around the linesman. Franklin's John back and forth. McDonald goes to the penalty box. They've got some action here. 12:57 left in the first. The fans are on their feet as McDonald and Idaho's Zane Franklin each go to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell.
Oh, boy, Tyson. I mean, I knew this game was going to get ugly ever since that hit on Cameron Wright. A dangerous play from behind the net, just a few feet away from the inboards. He gets shoved. I believe it was Becker. Goes down, and really, that lit a fire under the Grizzlies. They got pretty mad, and so they started throwing hits. See, both teams really started exchanging hits, and then it just kind of boiled over right there with Brandon Cutler grabbing a dance partner, and everybody else found one. It'll be interesting to see what transpires out of all this.
Looked like Corey Thomas and Dawson Bardo were exchanging some pushes and grabs. 2 Steelheads and 2 Grizzlies reaching the penalty box. Johnson hit Pfizer in the corner, and the puck ended up back in the corner as they show a replay. And there's a big hit delivered by Corey Thomas on Zane Franklin. Yeah, Franklin wouldn't go after the big guy. Ended up going after the captain, Connor McDonald. Cutler and Johnson, neither guy dropped the gloves, but both guys wanted to duke it out.
Well, that might have been a bad choice for Franklin because Connor McDonald can definitely hold his own. He actually hit Franklin in the face with his glove. Good punch. Franklin certainly took offense to that. So this game already getting feisty, chippy.
Looked like one of the referees almost took a high stick himself from Dawson Bardo. Yeah, McDonald was there, then he just threw a punch right at Zane Franklin. And that's what got McDonald to the penalty box. Referee number 10, Austin O'Rourke, was in the right place to make that call. 12:57 left in the first. Idaho leads 1-0.
I'm so surprised that it took the linesman that long to really get involved.
I think they're trying to get Cutler in the box as well as Johnson. Neither of the linesmen were in the area where McDonald was with Franklin.
Yeah, it seems like everybody was focused on what Cutler was doing. In the meantime, everybody else was throwing punches at each other.
Idaho's going to get a power play. Franklin got 2 minutes for roughing, and Johnson got 2 minutes for roughing for Idaho. For Utah, Cutler got 2 minutes for slashing, and McDonald got a double minor for roughing. I imagine that punch that McDonald threw around the linesman that connected on Franklin is why Idaho's on the power play right now. 12:57 left in the first. The Steelheads are 0 for 25 on the man advantage over the last 9 games. Idaho wins the faceoff as Bardo skates towards his right up top. He'll throw it to his left for Kawaguchi. He'll take a lefty shot. And it goes high off the glass and deflects off the protective netting and out of play. 12:49 left in the first, and we'll see what kind of adjustments Idaho makes on their power play here for game 3.
Well, the glaring one right now is Kawaguchi. Missed the first 2 games of this series. Voted the Steelheads team MVP, so he's going to be a lethal threat on the power play.
He'll probably be on that role that Domowski played.
Yeah, the Grizzlies are going to have to find a way to negate him.
Domowski's out of the lineup, but Kawaguchi's in. Idaho wins the draw. Murphy over to Kawaguchi along the far boards. They'll tap it up top for Bardo, who will skate towards his right. Bardo slides it to his left for Kawaguchi, just outside the left circle. Now he gets to the far side. Murphy, left wing shot, saved by Miner. Grizzlies get it, and they clear it out. Utah will get 3 new skaters on the ice. Idaho will keep the same 5-man unit out there. 1:30 left in Idaho's first power play of the game. They lead 1-0. 12:24 and counting left in the first. Idaho gains center ice. Ducharme from center ice rolls it around the boards. Puck goes to the near side as A.J. White trying to get to Murphy. Got taken away. Utah clears it out. Good job by Corey Thomas. James Shearer in unit. Shearer's been out there for the entire penalty kill. Kyle Betts out there with Cameron Wright. Behind Idaho's net, Dawson Bardo will skate ahead. Bardo's got an NHL entry-level deal with the Dallas Stars. He'll drop it off for Hedrick, who's the league's defenseman of the year. Hedrick at center ice will skate around Cameron Wright. Now he veers off to the right point. He'll throw it over towards Nearham. Back to Hedrick, who will slide it across. Bardo on the left point dances around. He'll skate towards his right. Almost fumbled the puck, but he keeps it. He'll slide it to the left side for Kawaguchi. He fakes a shot. Now Kawaguchi skates towards the far goal line. Takes a lefty shot. Saved by Miner. Rebound goes to Hedrick, who's in the far corner. Let's happen up top for Bardo. It's like a righty shot. Pad saved by Miner. Puck out in front of the net. Kawaguchi with a lefty blast. It goes wide. As the puck goes to the right point. As Ducharme switches place with Bardo. Now Ducharme skates towards the right side. Center pass shot goes wide. As Ducharme found Kawaguchi out in front. Hedrick over to Bardo. Now to Ducharme. One-timer, and it goes wide. He didn't get much on it from the right circle. Grizzlies did it from behind the net, and they clear it out. Good job by Cameron Wright and company. Willie Nearham along the right side. Re-enters the zone. He gets double-teamed along the boards. Tho and Jamison in the area. Puck lines towards the right side. And over to Penner, and he'll clear it out, but just to center ice. Tubla feeds it to the left side. Grizzlies are back at full strength as Martell, who is representing McDonald in the box, comes out. As Luke Martin behind the net will throw it to Penner. Penner along the far side will slide it across to Martell. Martell around center ice. He dumps it in. Grizzlies chase after it. Idaho deep in their own end as Cutler avoids a check of Jamison. He'll throw it to Colton Keller. Keller fought Jamison in game 2. He'll slide it out to center ice as Ty Pelton Bice gains the red line and he dumps it in. Bice gets double teamed in the corner. He gets pushed by Penner. Those in the area. We're about halfway through the first period. Idaho leads 1-0. Steelheads 0 for 1 on the power plays, though, behind the net. We'll slide it ahead for Penner. Penner gets the puck as he'll skate down the middle. He crosses center ice. Left wing chip towards Martell. Gets at the Idaho blue line. He'll dump it in. As Penner loses the puck, Idaho clears it back to center. It goes to Kyle Mayhew. Slides to Shearer. Back to Mayhew. Mayhew, the former University of Denver product. He's got good speed. He'll cross center ice and he'll backhand it in. He gets around Jade Miller. But he'll stop chasing after it. He'll skate in front of Idaho's net. Left wing Shearer shot goes blocked by the stick of Heiskanen. It goes back to Zach Walker on the near side. Walker chips it ahead. Misiak couldn't get it. Shearer couldn't clear it back towards Idaho's zone. As it goes back to Kyle Mayhew. He skates around Miner's net. He gets dragged by Zach Walker. Mayhew loses the puck. And as Bardo bounced it off of Mayhew. Mayhew lost the stick. He gets it back. And as Ritchie over towards Pfizer on the right side. Grizzlies enter the zone. Pfizer dances around. He'll roll it around the net. Ritchie gets it from behind. Ritchie behind the net, skates towards the near side. He's being shadowed by Bardo. Ritchie trying to feed it out in front and bounced off a skate. Goes out towards the Grizzlies zone. Martin in the far corner chases after it. He gets it and slides along the boards. Messner on the near side of Utah's blue line gets held up by Becker. Colton Keller loses it. Though across the center ice. Though loses it at the Idaho blue line. Puck bounced away. Though right side shot. And it goes wide. As Idaho turned it over, Though had a good look. Ducharme gains the line. They'll skate towards the right corner. Messner takes it away. They move it out to Though. Now Martell skates towards the left circle. Martell with a righty shot on it. Had lifted off his stick and flies out of play off the protective netting with 8:52 left in the first. Timeout on the ice. We'll take one as well. Idaho leads 1-0. Grizzlies with one. Utah disaster. Cleanup successful penalty kill here so far. Steelheads have outshot the Grizzlies 7-2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Idaho leads 1-0 as Wade Murphy scored 35 seconds in with A.J. White and Dawson Bardo getting the assist. Steelheads have outshot the Grizzlies 7-2. Guy, what have you seen so far?
Excellent penalty kill for the Grizzlies, Tyson. It starts with the poise and play of James Shearer. Really did a great job of neutralizing the threat of Jordan Kawaguchi. Just phenomenal penalty kill for the Grizzlies.
Draws give me the near circle. Kyle Betts will take it against Jack Becker. Draw won by Idaho as Hedrick will throw it to Cutler, who skates behind Idaho's net. They'll move it ahead. It taps off the far glass. It goes to Colton Keller. Gets to center ice, and he'll shovel it in. And Shearer gets it in the far circle. Now he skates behind Miner's net and stops. James Shearer, a very dependable defenseman, will throw it to the far side, and it goes to the Rooster. Martell moving out to Betts at center ice. Betts crosses the red line. He dumps it into the corner. Betts gets around Hedrick as he collides with Cutler. As we get a whistle, Zach Walker went down in the near circle. Wright pleads his case as Wright looks like he's going to get a penalty as Zach Walker fell down in the near circle. And now Cameron Wright's going to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. And it looks like it's going to be a 2-minute penalty for tripping as Wright will enter the penalty box. Second power play for Idaho coming up.
Oh, that's one of those times where you don't want to take a penalty like that, especially behind the play for the Grizzlies. And go right back on the PK. Did a great job with the first time around. I'll see what they can cook up here.
Jamison will take the draw against A.J. White. As Cameron Wright gets 2 minutes for tripping here in Game 3 of the best-of-7 series. Utah leads the set 2-0. As the draw won by Idaho, they throw it up top for Bardo. He'll skate towards his right with the blue line just behind him. He'll take a righty shot, and it goes high and bounces off the side of the net. Kawaguchi over to Bardo. He's in the left point. He'll skate towards his right. Now he gets to Kawaguchi. Kawaguchi slides it towards the net. Shot saved by Miner. Might have been blocked about 3 feet in front of him, though. As Bardo over to Kawaguchi, left side. Toe drag. He'll feed it to the far goal line. Now across to Ducharme. One-timer goes wide. Kawaguchi gets it back across to Ducharme. He'll take a lefty shot, and he goes over the crossbar and off the glass. Kawaguchi takes it to the point. Now he slides it to the right side for Ducharme. Ducharme, number 11, up top for Bardo. He'll slide it to Kawaguchi, left side. Kawaguchi taps to the left circle. Now back to Kawaguchi, over to Murphy. One-timer, and it goes wide. Miner might have gotten a piece of it as Penner gets from the boards and clears it out. Both teams make a line change. 1:08 and counting left in Idaho's second power play of the game. Looks like they're trying to isolate Kawaguchi all alone from the left side as much as possible. Hedrick crosses center ice. He'll dump it in as it ricochets off the backboards. Martin gets it. He'll slide it out towards Adam Scheel. Scheel cuts it off in the crease as he'll skate behind his net and slide it to Owen Hedrick in the near side from behind the net. Hedrick, number 7, will get to Cutler, who skates towards the right side. Cutler gains center ice. Now he gains the blue line with speed. Cutler skates towards the corner, drifts it back up top for Hedrick. He glides it across to Ty Pelton Bice. Back to Hedrick on the right side. He'll slide towards his left. Now to Bice on the right side, across off the boards for Cutler. He's on the far side. He'll switch places with Keller. Now Cutler with a shot saved by Miner. Rebound Idaho with a shot and it goes wide. And I believe the net got dislodged. 24 seconds left in the Idaho power play. As Trent Miner talking things with the linesman. Draws going to be in the near circle. As we put the net back in place with 6:50 left in the first.
I'll tell you what, Tyson, the PK is doing a great job, but I think it's only a matter of time before this Idaho power play clicks. It seems like they're doing all the right things. They just can't buy a goal right now. And so for the Grizzlies, to be able to kill this off, the memo needs to be, we can't take any more penalties. We got to find a way to play a clean game.
That's to take the draw against Ty Pelton Bice here as the crowd's still filing in here for Game 3 of the Mountain Division Semifinals. The winner of this series will face the winner of Allen and Kansas City. Allen leads that set 2-1. Off the draw, Idaho wins it. Kubla over to Hedrick. One-timer, and it goes wide. Puck bounced off the end boards. It goes back to Keller. He slides up top for Hedrick. Now to Kubla on the right side. It tapped off his stick. He gets along the boards. Now back to Hedrick. Over to Kubla, who's now in the right corner. He slid it off of Grizzly. Now it goes to the left side. Now up top for Hedrick. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by Miner. Rebound, McDonald gets it. He bounced off of Keller. Cameron Wright, fresh to come out of the box, and he's out. Second successful Utah disaster. Clean up penalty kill. On the left side, Keller's shot is blocked. Puck goes back over to Cameron Wright, fresh out of the box. He flies across center ice, near side. Right skates towards left circle. He fed it across to Betts. Betts was skating the other way and went past him. Messner back to the corner. Betts gets it on the far side as he's tangled up with Colton Keller. Hedrick and Cameron Wright join the play as the puck is pinned towards the boards. Betts battling and continues to battle with Keller. Everybody else looks on. Less than 6 minutes left in the first period. Idaho leads 1-0 as Wade Murphy scored 35 seconds in. As Wright continues to get pinned by Hedrick. Now Betts still in the corner. Hedrick comes out of the pile with the puck. As he loses it, Cameron Wright skates towards his left. Wright drops off for Mayhew. Mayhew toe drag. He'll skate in, delayed penalty. Shields off his feet. Puck pokes back to the corner. Delayed penalty, it's on Idaho. Though, high slot shot that's blocked by Nerum. He'll touch up. 5:31 left in the first period. And when we come back in 30 seconds, Utah will be on the power play for the first time tonight. Idaho leads Utah 1-0 with 5:31 left in the first on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Owen Hedrick is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for hooking, 14:29 into the contest. Have you or someone you know been charged with a DUI? Rogers and Russell is Utah's DUI defense firm. Consequences for driving under the influence in Utah are serious, and you need great attorneys on your first line. Look for a letter in the mail from Rogers and Russell inviting you to schedule a free consultation. Don't throw away or disregard this letter. Call and get Utah's #1 DUI defense team. Rogers and Russell. Idaho leads 1-0. Utah's on the power play for the first time tonight. Guy, what are you looking for?
Well, this is the big chance for the Grizzlies to tie this thing up. I look at Brandon Cutler on this power play. He's got a lethal shot. Maybe the Grizzlies will try and isolate him on one of the sides and then just let him rip.
Richie's over there up top with Cutler. Taking the draws, Keaton Jamison. Up top is Taryn Pfizer and Kyle Mayhew. Draw one by Idaho as he scores towards Adam Schill. Now to the near corner for Zach Walker. He tried to clear it out and fanned on it, and now he gets it past Taryn Pfizer on a second chance. Miner behind his net, wearing number 50. He'll drop it off for number 6, Kyle Mayhew. He's not very big, but he's certainly speedy. Mayhew gets to neutralize. Now he crosses center. Left wing pass to Richie connects. Richie skates towards left circle. Lefty shot. Saved by Schill. Rebound goes out to the right side. Cutler between his legs to Jamison. Now up top to Mayhew. Glides towards his right. Over to Cutler just outside the far circle. He'll slide it across to Pfizer. One-timer and it goes wide. Pfizer scored on the one-timer on the power play late in the first period on Friday. Mayhew over towards the left circle. He'll drop it off to the right side for Cutler. Now to the far goal line for Richie. Swings and misses. Tried to tap it towards Jamison. Schill lost his balance. He's back on his feet. Jamison behind Idaho's net. Gets it towards Richie. Will tap it towards Mayhew on the near side. Mayhew will switch places with Pfizer. He's now on the high slot over to Pfizer. One-timer, saved by Schill. That was a blast by Taryn Pfizer on a one-timer in the left circle, but Schill was able to corral it and hold on with 4:32 left in the first.
Well, Tyson Pfizer was a great shot, Tyson, and Adam Shield was made well aware of that in game 2. And Tyson Pfizer scored in a similar spot on the near circle. He just let it rip and went over his shoulder. This time, Shield was well aware and ready for it. But I like that look for the Grizzlies on the power play.
Betts will take the face off. Fitz and Martell are up top, or down low. Up top is Cameron Wright and Luke Martin. As the Grizzlies made a line change, so did the Steelheads. A.J. White will take the draw for Idaho. Steelheads have outshot the Grizzlies 10-5 here so far. It's 1-0 Idaho. Utah on the power play for the next minute. As the Grizz win the draw, Dylan Fitz throws up top for Martin. He slides it across to right. Now back to Martin in the high slot. Now he gets it back to right. Across to Martell. Left circle. Martell up top for Martin. Martin back to Martell. One-timer saved by Shield. Fitz gets it back towards Martell on the near side. So he gets pushed by White. And he slides to Betts. He gets it up top for Martin. He'll get it to the right side for Wright. Right, the right point, slides it towards Betts. Betts over in the far corner. We'll tap it over to Wright. Now to Martin. One-timer on. It goes just wide. Idaho gets it. They clear it out. That's got to be delay of game. And it is. Delay of game on Patrick Kubla. As Martin fired a shot and it ricocheted off the end boards. Kubla tried to clear it out and he gave a fan a souvenir over near Idaho's bench. That's going to be delay of game as Kubla's going to skate towards the penalty box. He pled his case, but he's going to the box, and the Grizzlies will have a 5-on-3 for 27 seconds. And then after that, the Grizzlies will continue with a 5-on-4 power play.
Well, and this is huge, Tyson. The Grizzlies started out with their second power play unit to start this power play. And so now you got your first power play unit out here on a 5-on-3 situation. The Grizzlies need to capitalize on this.
Time of Patrick Kubla's delay of game penalty, 16:02 into the first period. Betts will take the draw against A.J. White. Idaho leads 1-0. It's a critical sequence here late in the first period. Golden opportunity for the Grizzlies to tie it up. As a draw, won by Idaho. And Casey Johnson will clear it. As Miner to the near side of his net will move it ahead to Luke Martin. Martin gets to neutralize. He'll slide it to his right for Wright. Wright steps over the offensive blue line. He'll toss it to the corner. Dylan Fitz gets it. He wraps it around the boards. 10 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Martell over to Martin. Martin over to the far goal line for Betts. Across to Martell. Martell back to Betts. Over to Martin. One-timer. And it goes wide. Idaho got a piece of it. Fresh out of the box for Owen Hedrick. Hedrick gets it at the Utah blue line. He'll skate towards the right circle. Take a righty shot. And goes wide as the puck trickles towards center ice. It goes past Jack Becker. Idaho gets it at their blue line, and they'll clear it out towards Miner. Miner behind his net gets it towards Mayhew. 3:11 and counting left in the first as Mayhew skate towards his right. He loses the puck, and Becker will throw it back into the Grizzlies zone. Cutler slides it across to Pfizer as Pfizer gets around Miner's net. Pfizer's got good speed. He'll guide it out towards the near side. It bounced off over the stick of Mayhew. Richie's over there. He gets to Cutler across the center ice. He'll step over the blue line. Now Richie will bounce it off of Misiak, and it goes towards Jack Becker. Clears it out. Miner behind his net. 45 seconds and counting left in Utah's power play. As Mayhew gets the puck, he skates around Miner's net. Mayhew's got good speed. He'll slide it to the far side for Martell. Now to Pfizer at the center ice logo. He'll step over the blue line, and he'll tap it to the corner. Puck rolls behind Idaho's net. Bardo gets there before Jamison. Jamison slides to the right side. Cutler shot, saved by Shield. As Jamison was behind the net, he nudged it towards the far circle for Cutler, who had a pretty good look, but Adam Shield made the save. And one critical thing about Shield, he's done an outstanding job tonight controlling the rebounds.
Yeah, he has, Tyson, and I like that idea from Cutler there to just take that puck and just fire it on net. Because I think one of the ways that you're going to find one past Shield is you just got to catch him off guard, catch him by surprise. I really don't think he was expecting Cutler to shoot that puck. That was more of just a quick reaction save for Shield. So if the Grizzlies can continue to build upon shots like that, I think they're in good shape.
Betts will take the drives out there with Fitz and Wright. They're down low. Up top is Luke Martin and the Rooster Jordan Martell. They had a point in each of the last 10 regular season games, and he had 1 goal and 1 assist in game 1 last Wednesday. As the draw won by the Grizzlies. Fitz throws it up top for Martin. Right point. He'll slide it across to Martell. Fake to one-timer. Now he gets to the slot for Betts. He'll take a lefty shot. It's blocked by Hedrick. Puck goes back up top. Martin keeps it in. He'll slide it to right in the slot. Now back to Martin, right side. 10 seconds left in the power play. Martin gets it back up top for Wright. He'll drive it across to Martell. Martell slides it up top for Wright. He's in the high slot. They got righty shot. Saved by Shield. He bobbles it. They look for Betts out in front. Now Martell skates towards the net. Takes a shot. Saved by Shield. Idaho's back in full strength. Cutler gets it out of the box. He's got a breakaway. Cutler skates in. Lefty shot. Saved by Miner. As Cutler had a breakaway after coming out of the penalty box. Big time hit delivered by Zach Walker on Luke Martin. Cutler right side, loses it by his former teammate Corey Thomas, who has slided ahead to Cameron Wright at the Utah blue line. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the first period as we see it from section 114. As Kawaguchi skate down the middle, right side, as he'll get around Corey Thomas. Kawaguchi near goal line, shot saved by Miner. Thomas gets back checked, and Idaho takes the puck away. Murphy over to Hedrick up top, now to the left side. As now it goes to the right side, Murphy shot saved by Miner. As Wright spins it to the far side. Walker couldn't handle it. Johnny, that is. Hedrick over towards Murphy. He'll take a shot, and it's blocked by Cameron Wright. Wright held Murphy's stick for a half a second. As there's about 1 minute left in the first period. Kawaguchi gets up top for Heiskanen. Now all alone, left side. Hedrick left, righty shot, saved by Miner. Rebound shot, saved by Miner again. Go towards the far side. Behind the net, Kawaguchi gets hit by Thomas. Puck goes towards the near side. Miner covers up. And after the whistle, Wade Murphy pushing Corey Thomas. Kawaguchi pushed Cameron Wright. And I think he's going to get a penalty. Cameron Wright skated behind Utah's net towards Kawaguchi. And Kawaguchi pushed him. And he's going to the box. It's going to be another power play for Utah as Kawaguchi is going to glide towards the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 49.6 seconds left in the first. And Kawaguchi gets 2 minutes.
Tyson, Cameron Wright is great at just getting under the skin of his opponents and really drawing penalties. He does it there. Kawaguchi loses his cool. Now the Grizzlies have a chance to go back on the power play. Really like the last few looks that they had. Martel was right on the doorstep. Really should have had a goal. Just wasn't able to put it home. See if the Grizzlies can build upon that here.
Jordan Kawaguchi, 2 minutes for cross-checking. 19-10, and Wright had some words to say for Kawaguchi, and Kawaguchi just took a stick and cross-checked him.
They don't call him the Rat for nothing.
Drow's going to be in the far circle. 49 seconds left in the first. Kawaguchi laughing it up in the penalty box. We'll see if the Grizzlies can gain some momentum heading into the first intermission locker room. Draw one by Idaho as Dawson Bardo skates around his goaltender, and he'll slide it high in the air as it bounces in the near corner deep in the Grizzlies zone. Miner behind his net will drop it off as Kyle Mayhew skates down the middle. Mayhew will get past Becker. He crosses center ice. He'll drop it back off for Cutler. Cutler crosses center ice. He'll gain the line to the right side. He gets it to Jamison. Back to Cutler. Skates behind Idaho's net. He'll chip it to the near side for Ritchie. Ritchie's in the corner. He'll get it up top for Mayhew. Mayhew skates towards his right. He'll drop it off to the right side for Cutler. Cutler and Cutler on the ice, but Cutler plays to the Grizzlies. Now to Mayhew on the right side. 13 seconds left in the period. Over to Jamison. Back to Mayhew. He skates towards his left. Now to the left circle for Pfizer. Back to Mayhew. Fake to one-timer. Now to Pfizer. 3 seconds left. Pfizer on the near side. Fires towards the net. Saved by Schill. Rebound shot. Saved by Schill again. And time runs out. The Grizzlies were able to get a good look from the right side, but Schill holds on. And the Grizzlies are going to be on the power play for the first minute and 11 seconds of the second period. But the only goal scored in the first frame was by Wade Murphy. It was the first shot of the game, 35 seconds in, with A.J. White and Dawson Bardo getting the assist. Think about the shot count. It was 7-2 at one point in favor of Idaho. And we head to the locker room with Idaho leading the shot count 15-14. Most of that due to Utah having a few power plays late in the first period. When we come back in 2 minutes, Guy Krenz will quarterback first intermission coverage as Idaho leads 1-0. Wade Murphy had 21 regular season goals. He gets his first in the playoffs. And it looks like we got a fun one here in the final 40 minutes of regulation. The score after one period, Idaho 1, Utah 0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
The Steelheads won and the Grizzlies nothing after 20 minutes of play. I'm Guy Chiarenza, he's Tyson Whiting, and it's the Rio Tinto Kennecott first intermission report here at the Maverick Center. Grizz Media is in full force. The fans are having a good time with the intermission activities. And Idaho did not waste any time getting the party started. It's just 35 seconds into the contest. Wade Murphy on a good pass from A.J. White on the left side was able to rip one past Trent Miner, and it gave Idaho a 1-0 lead. And as quickly as that goal was scored, that's all the scoring we have for the first period, as it is 1-0 Steelheads after the first frame. The play did get pretty chippy as the Grizzlies and Steelheads both found their way into the penalty box a few times. Idaho's 0 for 2 on the power play. Utah's 0 for 2 as well, but they're in the midst of a power play situation right now. They'll have 1 minute and 11 remaining on that to start the second period. Cameron Wright doing what he does best, is instigating and drawing penalties, and he was able to do that, and that's why Kawaguchi's in the box right now as he cross-checked Cameron Wright towards the end of the first period, and so that's why the Grizzlies are in the middle of a power play. Shots are 15-14 in favor of Idaho. But keep in mind, as Tyson mentioned before he went to break, it was a 7-2 edge for the Steelheads at one point. The Grizzlies were able to rally back late in the period, and part of that is due to the power play, as the Grizzlies have 11 shots on the power play. Idaho has 6. But Trent Miner got the start net tonight, led in the goal on the first shot, but stopped 14 of 15 to end the period. It's Adam Scheel for the Steelheads in goal. He stopped all 14 that he's seen. But really difference in this game so far, Tyson, I feel like, is the face-off circle. Yeah. The Grizzlies are losing that face-off battle. Idaho has the edge 11-4. And really, it was those critical face-offs. The Grizzlies were winning those in games 1 and 2, getting possession on critical plays. They weren't doing that here in the first period. And as a result of that, Idaho had possession, dictated the turns for the majority of the first period. As a result of that, they were able to get a goal.
The game had a good flow to it, but Idaho did win a lot of face-offs in the first period. And they won a lot of the big face-offs in the frame as well. It's kind of interesting. 11 power play shots for the Grizzlies, yet not a single one of them found the back of the net. Looks like Idaho made a couple adjustments to their penalty kill. They were an outstanding penalty kill unit in the regular season. They're just not going to let Utah get anything out in front. You know, it's going to have to be from either the left circle or right circle. Maybe the best look on the power play was something similar to how Taryn Pfizer scored in Game 2. It was a one-timer from the left circle that Scheel just made somehow a routine save on, and that's really been the big thing about Scheel. He's not allowed many second chances, and when he has, seems like Idaho has been much more aggressive in terms of protecting their netminder, and they also want to play a pretty physical brand of hockey, it looks like, for the Steelheads, knowing that their season is pretty much on the line after Utah won the first 2 games of the series, coming back here to Maverick Center for the games 3, 4, and 5. So this is one of those things where it's a gut check for Idaho, even though the Grizzlies had their chances on the power play, and by chances, I mean a lot of them. It's still 1-0 Idaho. And I'm really interested in seeing how this power play turns out here early in the second period. This can end up setting a tone for the remainder of the second.
I agree, Tyson. I really think the key for the Grizzlies on that power play is, you're right, you just got to take those shots from the circles. And so I look at Pfizer, Cutler, and Martell, and even Cameron Wright to be those guys to take those shots. And the Grizzlies need to just do what they've been doing and just kind of clutter the crease, screen Scheel, so that he is able to, if he isn't able to save it, when he does, he's going to allow a rebound. And so somebody on the doorstep can cash in. And really, Jordan Martell was that guy in the first period. There was a chance where the puck was just rolling around in the blue paint, and he wasn't able to stuff it home. really a great right pad save by Shield. I'm not even sure he knew where the puck was. He kind of just kicked his leg out and was able to make a save. But, I mean, it's just a game of inches, and the Grizzlies are on the wrong side of that. But I really like what the power play has been able to generate. I think ever since the Grizzlies got on the power play, they were able to generate a lot more energy in this first period. Kind of helped them climb back into the game. And I think when the Grizzlies went down by 1, that was the first time in the entire series that the Grizzlies have been playing from behind. They'd either been playing with the lead or tied. So I was really interested to see how the Grizzlies would respond. They weren't able to get a goal, but we saw play ramp up in the physicality department, from like just really exponentially, just in a matter of minutes. The Grizzlies went out there and just started playing physical, were laying hits. And as a result of that, they were able to get under the skin of the Steelheads. And so we saw a chippy game. And then the Steelheads started taking penalties. And so those power plays really helped the Grizzlies climb back into the game in terms of momentum.
Martell and Cutler each have 3 shots for Utah. They look to be 2 of Utah's best forwards here in the first period. Nolan Ritchie was active. He had 2 shots. I don't know if I said this on the air, if I just thought it or just said it to you before the broadcast started, but I was concerned about Wade Murphy. I thought he was going to be the guy for Idaho that would step up, and he had the goal 35 seconds in as A.J. White just skated down the middle, and Murphy was to the left wing. White had his pass connect to Murphy, and there wasn't much that Trent Miner can do about it. It looked like when White was skating down the middle, he had Kyle Mayhew in one of those no man's land sort of positions. Mayhew was thinking, do I go get White? Do I go, find a way to anticipate the pass going out to Murphy? It's almost like Mayhew was just left in between, and White was able to get that pass in, and then Murphy was all alone in the left circle.
Yeah, well, and Kyle Mayhew has been playing like a veteran. I mean, he's been playing lights-out hockey for the Grizzlies, but that right there is just a rookie mistake. He just misreads the play, and as a result of that, the Steelheads are able to go in and cash in on that opportunity. But, I mean, it was very similar to what we saw the last time the Steelheads were here before the regular season ended, where Justin Ducharme just went flying down the opposite side and got a goal on Garrett Metcalf to start that game. It seems like the Steelheads came out with a purpose. They wanted to make a statement, and they were able to do that to start this game. I think the Grizzlies came out a little flat. They were able to respond throughout the course of the first period, but the Steelheads caught them napping to start. A team that's really playing with a lot of desperation. They don't want to go down 3-0 to the Grizzlies in this series. So, I mean, they came out with a lot of passion, and they were able to capitalize on that.
The winner of this series will take on the winner of the Allen Americans Kansas City Mavericks series. Allen leads that best of 7 set, 2-1. Game 4, I believe, is going to be on Friday. It's going to be interesting to see how that series transpires. Really about this one, I think it's going to be interesting to see because Idaho's had some success here on this ice, and Grizzlies have had some success over in Idaho. I think the big thing tonight, though, for Idaho, if they want to take control, if they want to get this series back, is they got to find a way in the next 40 minutes to just kind of take away what the Grizzlies' strengths are. And I think for Idaho, I think that they have to be discouraged that they went 0-for-2 on the power play again, knowing that was something they were really working on. It looked like when Kawaguchi was out there, they were really trying to isolate him on the left circle. And it seemed like when he wasn't out there, they were trying to get somebody over on the right side, just get them all alone, just kind of overload one side, then feed it across for somebody all alone.
Yeah, and on that first power play, Kawaguchi really was the X factor for the Steelheads. But we have to give a lot of credit to James Shearer, number 10 in black for the Grizzlies. I mean, just did a great job of just really boxing out Kawaguchi, not letting him take a shot. There was a point in time where the Steelheads try to isolate him on the far side. They get it over to him, and James Shearer is just quick on it. Is over, gets a stick in front of him, and really, Kawaguchi just can't take that shot, so he kind of just meanders his way into the far corner. Shearer did an absolute, just a great job just really reading that play. And he was out there for almost the full 2 minutes on that power play for Idaho. So James Shearer, he's a warrior, been a really solid player for the Grizzlies in the penalty kill and also defensively. So, I mean, he read that like a book. And I think that's one of the reasons why this is only a 1-0 game. On that second power play for the Steelheads, it looked like it was more about puck movement. They had a lot of really good chances, Tyson. I mean, for the Grizzlies, you just got to find a way to stay out of the box because while Idaho's power play is cold right now, I think it's only a matter of time before they start to click. Middle frame is going to be a lot of fun. That's going to come up in about 8 minutes from now. I want to say hi to Grizzlies fan Zach Delacurti, who's listening to the game right now. Hi, Zach, who's the Steeler fan, believe it or not. He's a Steeler fan just like you are. So good taste.
Good to see Zach tuning into the game tonight. We're looking forward to the NFL draft tomorrow. We'll be back here on Friday for Game 4. 2 other games going on in the ECHL Kelly Cup playoffs. One has gone final in the North Division. Reading defeated Maine 4-3. And it looks like South Carolina and Florida, unless somebody scores in the final 12 seconds of regulation, it looks like South Carolina and Florida are headed for overtime. It's Game 3 of that series. It is tied 1 game apiece. That's certainly big because South Carolina looked outstanding at points in the regular season. Florida's the defending Kelly Cup champs. I got a feeling whoever wins that series might end up going far in the postseason because it seems like you got Florida with the championship experience, but it seems like South Carolina, we saw them one night defeat Cincinnati 11-0. They're capable of beating anybody.
Well, to me, Tyson, I think South Carolina is that team that comes out of the East. I look at the hockey that they played throughout the course of the season. They look like a very solid team. Came in and dominated a Cyclones team that really we thought looked very good when they came to Maverick Center. So for me, I got the Cyclones coming out of the East. I think the West is a lot more contested, a lot more tight. Even though you do have Idaho that seemed to be that powerhouse at the time, the Grizzlies are taking it to them in this series. Very tight series. I think they may have some trouble coming out of the West. I think it's going to be very, very tight.
First intermission, Idaho leads 1-0. The Grizzlies going to be on the power play for the first minute and 11 seconds of the second frame. When we come back, we'll give you some NHL and NBA scores, and we'll also have second period action here at Maverick Center. Score after 1 period, Idaho 1, Utah 0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to Maverick Center. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Second period action will begin shortly. Looks like they're headed to overtime in Boston. Florida and Boston tied at 3 in Game 5 of the Eastern Division Semifinals. Boston looking to close out Florida. They lead the series 3-1. The Bruins had a regular season that was kind of like the NHL's version of what the Steelheads did in the ECHL. Boston and Florida headed to overtime tied at 3. The Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, are taking on Seattle tonight over at Ball Arena. It's Game 5 of that series. It's the pivotal Game 5 as that series is tied 2 games apiece. Currently no score with 13:49 left in the first period. Guy, I'm really not that shocked that Seattle's given Colorado quite the series. And Colorado, the defending champs, they've had some injuries this year. It hasn't necessarily gone as smoothly as last season's did with them kind of cruising to the Stanley Cup. It's going to be interesting to see who ends up coming out of that series.
It's a great series. I mean, it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, man, maybe I should go to bed. And then you see it start to get kind of awesome. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll stay up. And you end up watching a really good game. I think for Seattle coming in, the question mark was their goaltending. They got good goaltending so far with Grubauer, and that's why they're going toe-to-toe with the Stanley Cup champions, and they're tied 2-2 in that series. Kind of similar to what the Grizzlies are getting right now. I mean, everybody kind of counted the Grizzlies out, but they're getting great goaltending from Trent Miner, and that's why they're able to stick with the Steelheads here in this series.
Other playoff action in the NBA, Grizzlies win. The Memphis Grizzlies defeat the Lakers 116-99 as the Memphis Grizzlies season lives on as the Lakers still lead that series 3-2, but Memphis wins tonight 116-99. How about this? The New York Knicks. Or are we getting a cold day and you know where? Knicks defeat the Cavaliers 106-95. The Knicks are advancing to the second round of the NBA playoffs. Donovan Mitchell eliminated in the first round once again. End of the first quarter, Miami leads Milwaukee 36-33. A Miami Heat victory means that they win the first round, which would be a stunning upset considering they're the 8th seed and the Milwaukee Bucks are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. And just getting underway in about 5 minutes from now, the Golden State Warriors are at the Sacramento Kings. And we want to give a shout out to a Sacramento Kings fan, Tanner Walker. His wife just had a baby a couple days ago, and we are certainly going to send our congratulations to Tanner Walker, who becomes a father for the first time. I know Tanner's tuned into this broadcast, but I think he's multitasking tonight. Well, he's probably triple tasking. He's got to be a father, and then he's also got to watch the Kings take on the Warriors, and I'm pretty sure he's tuned in and glued into this Grizzlies Steelheads matchup. So congratulations to Tanner Walker. We missed not seeing him in the office this week, but for good reason. He becomes a father for the first time, that being a couple days ago. We certainly send congratulations to Tanner and his wife, Emma, as they brought a new one into the world.
Big congratulations to Tanner. And I'm right, he's probably triple tasking. He's probably got 2 monitors, one with the Kings game, one with the Grizzlies game.
All that with like 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, that's got to be fun. But big congratulations to Tanner.
Both teams are on the ice, and I think it's going to be interesting to see if Utah can get any sort of good scoring chances in the first minute 11 of the second period. Utah will be on the power play. You mentioned a key stat in the first intermission. Idaho did dominate the faceoff battle 11-4, including a lot of the big faceoffs, when Utah was on the power play. So Grizzlies going to have to improve in that area.
Yeah, definitely, Tyson. And I think that was the glaring issue from the first period. Just those critical draws in the offensive zone, the Grizzlies were not winning them. And so I think this draw right here, the Grizzlies need to win that. I mean, look at guys like Penner, Jameson, even Kyle Betts. Those are guys that are known for being really good in the faceoff circle, but for whatever reason, they just struggled in the first period. So look for them to rebound here in the second. And if they do, I see the Grizzlies climbing back into this game.
On the power play, Utah going with 4 forwards and 1 defenseman. Kyle Betts out there with Cameron Wright, Rooster Jordan Martell, and Dylan Fitz. The defenseman is Luke Martin. For Idaho, they're shorthanded as Kawaguchi continues to serve a cross-checking Miner. Casey Johnson out there with Cody Haskin, and that's the 2 defensemen. The 2 forwards are Willie Nerum and A.J. White. White will take the draw against Kyle Betts. Grizzlies in the black jerseys with white numbers and professional green trim. They'll be skating from our left to our right here in the second period. Idaho in a white jersey with black trunks and a little bit of blue mixed in, black numbers, and a little bit of blue on the side. As the draw goes deep into the Idaho zone, Haskin chases after it. And it'll bounce off the far glass and it goes towards Trent Miner. Miner to the side of his net. We'll get it to Luke Martin, who skates around the Grizzlies net minder as Grizz on the power play. Martin over to right, who slides it across to Martell, dumps it in to make that Betts. Betts chases after it. Casey Johnson gets there first. He gets blasted as Betts towards the right side. He gets poked away by Haskinen. A.J. White gets it, and the Steelheads captain clears it out. Miner behind his net. Less than 40 seconds left in Utah's power play. We get it to the Rooster. Now to Luke Martin. Martin skates down the middle as he gets the neutral ice across center. Martin chips it in. Betts chases after it as it glides behind Idaho's net. Betts feeds it to the far corner. Betts collides with Becker. Now another Steelhead gets it, and Cody Haskinen clears it out. Miner to the side of his net. We'll get it to the Rooster. Idaho makes a line change. So do the Grizzlies. Martell skates to center ice. Now he gets to the right side. He gets around Misiak as Martell slides it across. Kawaguchi stands in the penalty box. Now he's out. As Mayhew over to the far circle for Martell. Cutler in the left point as Kawaguchi's out of the box. He joins the play. Cutler left side shot. Saved by Shield. Rebound goes to the far side. Kawaguchi drops it off. As Becker moves ahead. Misiak with great speed chases after it. He gets it behind Utah's net. Now Misiak gets it poked away by Tho. Mayhew gets it. Turnover. Becker right side righty shot goes wide. Puck goes to Pfizer on the near side. He loses it at the Utah blue line. Misiak dumps it back in. Miner behind his net will tap it towards the near side. It goes to Pfizer. As Darren Pfizer, 27 goals in the regular season, moves ahead to Cutler. Cutler skates from the left side. He enters the zone. Cutler around towards the corner. Will chip it across to Pfizer. Pfizer trying to get to Jamison. Puck glides towards the slot. Hedrick elbows Brandon Cutler. Cutler is down Owen Hedrick with a Karl Malone type of elbow to the face of Cutler. McDonald right side shots blocked by Zach Walker. Cutler will skate towards the bench, though, as Idaho touches up. As Owen Hedrick just did the old Karl Malone, he'll throw an elbow right at you move. And it's going to be a penalty on the Steelheads.
That's tough for Brandon Cutler. Hopefully he's going to be okay. He's getting some attention. Got a towel on his face. But for the Grizzlies, here you go. Back on the power play. Another opportunity. And really, I was kind of disappointed with the way the Grizzlies kind of came out to start this second period on that remaining part of that power play. Just seemed a little sloppy. Couldn't really retain possession in Idaho's zone. But here we go. Another critical face-off deep in the offensive zone. Can the Grizzlies win it?
Owen Hedrick gets 2 minutes for elbowing. And if it's not elbowing, it should have been. Draw's going to be in the far circle. Betts will take the draw against A.J. White. High sticking's officially the call instead of elbowing. I mean, that's where the elbow looked like it was towards. Either way, it's 2 minutes. Draw won by, well, Betts' stick broke. Well, his stick broke at the faceoff circle. Idaho gets it. They clear it out. It was A.J. White's stick that broke, but White won the faceoff. As Grizzlies skate from left to right. Luke Martin skates towards the near side. East the right wing gets the neutralize, so dropping off for the Rooster. Martell crosses center ice right wing. He gets around Niram. He loses the puck, though, as Dawson Bardo will tap it off the boards. Willie Niram's got a breakaway. He'll skate down the middle. Righty shot. Saved by Miner. Rebound goes out towards the near side as Niram at the Utah blue line gets knocked down by Cameron Wright. And that's going to be a penalty is from the opposite blue line. The Eagle Eye, David Lilly, raised his arm and gives Cameron Wright a penalty. So that will do it for Utah's power play. 1:28 left in the man advantage. Cameron Wright gets 2 minutes for tripping. And we're going to skate 4-on-4 for a minute 28. And then after that, Idaho will be on the man advantage.
Just to backtrack a few seconds ago, great save by Trent Miner on the shorthanded breakaway for the Steelheads. Really kept the Grizzlies in that one. That's his second save on a breakaway in this game. And for Cameron Wright, that's just not a penalty you want to take. I understand you want to apply pressure, but that's a penalty that you really shouldn't be taking.
Draws the near circle. Justin Ducharme will take it against Taryn Pfizer. Ducharme in 43 games this season had 14 goals and 19 assists and a plus 14 rating. 17:23 left in the second. Idaho leads 1-0. Steelheads outshot the Grizzlies 16-15. Draw one by the Grizzlies. Kyle Mayhew in the far corner keeps the puck. And so throw it over towards Aaron Thos. We're skating even strength. As though over to Mayhew. He skates down the middle. He's still in the Grizzly zone. He gets neutralized in a hurry. Now he crosses center. Tries to get around Haskinen. Puck ends up back at neutralized. Cutler gets it. And he'll skate back into his own zone. Brandon Cutler wearing number 29. Sporting a mustache. Crosses center ice. He'll get it to Mayhew at the center ice circle. Mayhew button hooks. Gets over to Cutler. Now back to Tho, who gains center ice. Right wing chip to Pfizer. Back to Tho. Steps over the line. He skates towards the corner. He gets hit by Kudla. He loses the puck as Haskinen gets it towards Ty Pelton-Bice on the far side. He'll make that Justin Ducharme. He crosses center ice. Ducharme skates down the middle. Ducharme wearing number 11. Collides with Mayhew in the far circle. He loses it. Dylan Fitz will skate to neutralize the speed. 2-on-2. Fitz gets to the line. Stops in the left circle. Centers the Pfizer. Shot goes wide. As puck goes back to Fitz. As he gets pushed and the puck goes out to center ice. Two Grizzlies collide. As Pfizer and Cutler ran into each other. Grizzlies step over the blue line as Pfizer on the right point throws it across. It bounced off to Kudla. And it goes towards the Utah blue line. It's taken by Shearer, who slides it across to Martin. Martin gains center ice. Now he steps over the line 2-on-3. Martin stops just outside the right circle. And so get it to Shearer in the near corner. Shearer gets pushed by Wade Murphy. Now Penner right wing shot saved by Schill. Now it goes back to Idaho. As Idaho's not only back at full strength, they begin a power play for the next 28 seconds. Idaho skates in. Casey Johnson, left wing lefty. Shot goes wide. Ty Pelton-Bice to the far corner. Drops it off for Murphy, who gets to Bardo. Bardo slides it to the right circle for Murphy. Murphy gets around a skater. Now Murphy skates towards the net. He'll take a shot. Saved by Miner. And Trent covers up. Good job by Tyler Penner and Luke Martin. Boxing out Idaho in front of the crease.
Dangerous chance there for Murphy. Grizzlies do a good job of really sticking to him once he just tries to drive to the net. Another good save for Trent Miner. Ever since he let that first one in on the first shot of the game, he's been solid.
Still 1-0 Steelheads. 11 seconds left in the Idaho abbreviated power play. Colton Keller's on the ice, as is Jade Miller. Miller will take the draw against Kyle Betts. Game 3 of the best of 7 series. Utah leads 2-0. Game 4 will be on Friday at 7:10. Here are tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. Want to see Grizzmania alive and well here for Game 4. Game 5 is still if necessary. Idaho needs to win one game here over the next two contests to force a game 5. Hedrick in the left side gets it. He winds and fires. Shot saved by Miner. As right side of the penalty box right now, it's a Utah disaster cleanup, successful penalty kill. As Idaho look to center, it goes wide. Right gets the puck. Right gets the right wing. He'll step over the offensive line. He's onside. Right circle, take a righty shot. It goes wide. Puck lines along the far boards. Steelheads get it to neutralize, so cross center. As now the puck's in the Grizzly zone in the slot, taken by the captain, Connor McDonald. As Misiak and Cameron Wright drag each other to the ice. McDonald moves it ahead. It bounced off of Ritchie. It goes deep in the Steelhead zone. Bardo chases after it. It'll go to Hedrick, who skates towards the near side. Now he'll dish it out to the center, Jade Miller. Across the center ice. Miller dumps it in. He gets hit by Cutler. As Aaron Tho gets blasted by Walker. Tho loses his helmet. He'll skate off. As Mayhew gets pushed. Now it's behind Utah's net. Pfizer gets the puck. Pfizer over to Mayhew. 5.5 minutes into the second period. Puck goes back to Pfizer from Mayhew. And Pfizer slides it to Mayhew on the far side. He'll gain center ice and he'll chip it in. Puck goes over the head of Adam Schill and ricochets off the end wall. Pfizer behind the net. Will skate towards the far side. Now to the left side. Cutler one-timer saved by Schill. As Pfizer and Becker battle. Cutler spins it around Idaho's net. McDonald with a big-time collision of Zach Walker. Steelheads carried across center ice. Now into the zone, but the whistle blows as the Steelheads are offside. Connor McDonald with a big-time hit on Zach Walker in the Steelhead zone.
Well, the physicality from the first period has definitely carried over here into the second. Why wouldn't it? It's Grizzlies and Steelheads, best rivalry in the league in a playoff form. And Connor McDonald really doing a great job of using his body throughout the series, whether it's blocking shots or throwing hits. He's had a really good series so far.
Draws going to be neutralized. Once again, we want to say hi to Zach Delacurti, who's watching the game. Big Steelers fan, big Grizzlies fan as well. Draws going to be in the near circle, where it's going to be neutralized, near side. Penner will take the draw against A.J. White. White was not a teammate with any current Grizzlies players, but he was a teammate with Jared Pike, the Grizzlies assistant coach 2 years ago. Draw one by the Grizzlies. Sure, the blue line to blue line pass. It bounced off of Fitz's stick. Now Fitz right wing shot, and it's blocked by Kudla. And Kudla's stick, and it flies out of play. 13:56 left in the second period. There's a timeout on the ice. Idaho still leads 1-0 as Wade Murphy scored 35 seconds into the contest. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Idaho still leads 1-0. Both teams' penalty kill units have been on task. Guy, what have you seen so far in this contest?
Well, Tyson, the penalty kill looks good for the Grizzlies, but one player I'm focused on right now is Dylan Fitz. He's really been playing with a purpose here in this second period. It seems to be a step faster, playing with a little bit of swagger, taking those risky shots that we like to see him take. I think he's the guy that really can light a fire under this Grizzlies team and provide a spark.
Draws going to be in the near circle of Idaho's zone. Tyler Penner will take the draw against A.J. White, the Steelheads captain. Mick Messner in his first postseason game is in there. And the right wing is Dylan Fitz. Up top is James Shear and Luke Martin. Idaho leads Utah in the shot count 18-17. There's a draw won by the Steelheads. Casey Johnson moves ahead. Murphy couldn't reach it. Puck goes to the Utah blue line. It goes to Martin. Martin gets it. As Martin skates towards the near side, moving out to Fitz. It bounced off of him and bounced off of Bardo. It goes to Johnson in the Steelhead zone. They'll lift it out to center ice. Murphy chases after it. Puck on its side as it wobbles deep in the Grizzlies zone. Murphy collides with Shearer, trying to feed it out in front to White. It bounced off the stick and rolls towards the corner. Penner throws it out to center ice. It's taken by Johnson. Now to Bardo. Will slide it off the far wing boards. Murphy re-enters. Right side, fakes a shot and taps off the near wall. Kawaguchi centering pass. It hits off a Miner and squirts towards the left point. Johnson over to White. He feeds it across to Bardo. Right wing, righty shot. Glove saved by Miner. Trent holds on with 13:15 left in the second. And after allowing that goal 35 seconds into the game, Looks like Miner's settled in.
He really has, Tyson, and the Grizzlies need him to be on his best in this series, and so far he has. I mean, I don't think the Grizzlies win game 1 and 2 if Trent Miner doesn't play the way he plays. Really, I don't even know if the Grizzlies are in the playoffs if Trent Miner doesn't play the way he plays, and that's why he was voted team MVP.
Draws game in the far circle. Idaho skating from right to left here in the second period. Utah from left to right. Kyle Betts is taking a ton of face-offs for Utah tonight. He wins this one as Aaron Tho moves out to center ice. Cameron Wright gets it. He'll cross center, and he'll bounce it off a cup-up, and it flies out of play. Drawn's going to be at neutral ice. 13:09 left in the second as the linesman Colin Kleinendorf gets a new puck, and he'll hand it over to Craig Peterson. Kleinendorf's going to take the draw himself and drop the puck. And as Betts will take it against Ty Pelton Bice. Game 5 on Friday. Get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. We want to see a huge crowd here for Game 4. Grizzlies win the draw. Mayhew slides it across the Tho, who enters from the right side. Tho overskates it. Cutler with a good poke check, and Justin Ducharme ices it. Puck wobbles outside. Miner will let it go as the puck took a left turn, and after the whistle, Willie Nerum delivered a shot on Kyle Mayhew. Mayhew, pound for pound, maybe one of the toughest guys in the league. I wonder if Nerum's going to get a penalty, as after the puck wobbled to the left side and turned into an icing, Nerum took a free shot at Mayhew.
Yeah, that was definitely after the whistle, Tyson.
And Nerum's going to the box. He can't believe it. The referee says you hit him up high. Cross-checking is going to be the call. Willie Nerum is going to the box. 12:58 left in the second period. That's another critical power play for the Grizzlies. Can they find a way to generate some scoring chances here down 1?
Well, and Tyson, the Grizzlies are 0 for 4 on the power play in this game. Think about the playoffs. Usually you don't see that many power plays or penalty chances in a game like this. So you got to think that the Grizzlies, the next few chances on the power play might be sparse. This might be your last chance. You never know. So the Grizzlies need to find a way to capitalize.
Nerum gets 2 minutes for cross-checking, 7:02 into the second period. Would have been an offensive zone draw for the Grizzlies anyway, but they do so on the man advantage. Jamison will take the draw in the right circle, and it's won by Idaho. Casey Johnson in the corner, battles with Ritchie. Cutler gets it. He'll throw it over to Mayhew, skates towards his left. Back to Cutler, just outside the right circle. Cutler switches places with Mayhew over to Pfizer. One-timer, and it's blocked by Bardo. Pfizer gets it back, left point. He'll slide it up top for Cutler. Brandon Cutler's been active here so far tonight. He'll get it to Pfizer. Now up top for Mayhew. He looked for a shot, and it bounced off of Bardo's stick and flies out of play. So it looked like Mayhew was trying to pass it to the far goal line for Nolan Ritchie. Draw's going to stay in the Steelhead zone with 1:36 left in the power play.
Well, Tyson, you talked about this during the first intermission, but the Grizzlies are trying to isolate a skater on both sides. You've got Taryn Pfizer on the far side, Brandon Cutler on the near side. You really have Mayhew acting as that mediator, that quarterback on the blue line. And so really the great thing for the Grizzlies, they've got so much depth that you can really swing things to one side and you've got that isolated guy on either side. Grizzlies just need to find a way to connect and get it done.
Jamison will take the draw against Jade Miller, who scored some big goals against the Grizzlies this year. Miller been a good glue guy for Idaho all year. But it's not Miller time on the face-off circle. It looks like he's kicked out of the dot. Zach Walker will take the draw. Walker, second year with the Steelheads. Very physical player. Does make an impact. Draw one by the Grizzlies. Cutler over to Mayhew, left side. Now to the corner for Pfizer. He'll get it up top for Mayhew. As he's in the high slot, he'll dish it to Cutler on the right side. As Cutler across to Pfizer. Pfizer just outside the left circle. Dances around. 1:20 left in the power play. Pfizer to the near goal line for Jamison over to Ritchie. One-timer saved by Shield. Idaho gets it, and Bardo will tap it off the near glass and clear it out. Pfizer in the near corner gets it deep in the Grizzlies zone. Utah makes a change. As Luke Martin is now on the ice, he'll take the puck from Pfizer. Martin skates around Miner's net. As Luke Martin to the near side, we'll move it ahead to Johnny Walker. Walker scored some power play goals this season. We'll slide it across. Grizzlies enter from the left side as Betts will survey. Now tap it up for right in the left point. They'll slide it to the high slot for Martin. Back to right. Right fires towards, and then he scores! Cameron Wright has tied the game with a power play goal with 11:44 left in the second. He led the club with 29 this season, and he is the optimum first goal of the game. Scores. We're tied at 1.
You need a big goal, Tyson? Look no further than number 15, Cameron Wright. Cameron clutch. Every time you need a big goal, that's the guy that you want the puck on his stick. What a great shot from Wright. Johnny Walker being that guy in front of Shields to just apply that pressure, that screen. The Grizzlies have tied this thing up.
The security people must have intercepted all the fish. The tradition is officially over. No fish were thrown on the ice after Utah's first goal. As Grizzlies want to keep the momentum going, right with the goal. Luke Martin and Kyle Betts with the assist. Kyle Betts and Luke Martin with the assist. Time to goal 8:16 in. As Grizzlies get back in the offensive zone. Fits on the far side, spins it around. Nick Messner on the right side. Throws it up top for McDonald. And gets poked away by Kawaguchi, who gets the center ice near side. He dumps it in. Penner chips it across. As Cutlover skates it. Nick Messner, he's got a breakaway. 2-on-1. Messner skates towards the right circle. He'll dish it across the fence. One-timer scores! Dylan Fitz gives Utah a 2-1 lead. Grizzlies had a 2-on-1. Messner skated to the right side, dished it across the Fitz. And what a shot by Dylan Fitz.
Great play by Messner to just read that. And on the transition game, go from the defensive zone to the offensive zone. Picks his head up and finds Dylan Fitz. And Fitz was due. Has played a great second period here. Was jumping, moving with a purpose. And he cashes in and gives the Grizzlies a 2-1 lead.
It was a 2-on-1. Messner to Fitz to the back of the net. Grizzlies score 2 goals. 28 seconds apart. Fitz scored 8:44 in. Messner and Luke Martin with the assist. Martin now with 2 assists for Utah. As the draw at center ice is won by Idaho. Grizzlies kept the momentum after scoring Utah's first goal to get a second one. Idaho skates in left side. Ducharme lefty shot. Saved by Miner. And Trent holds on as Idaho won the draw. They quickly threw a pass over to Ducharme in the left circle. He took a shot that was saved by Miner, and Ducharme is all alone. Oh, what crazy action here at Maverick Center.
Oh, Tyson, it's great. I mean, some fans gave us these fish before the game. We're not going to throw them because the tradition's dead, but it's been fun. And the Grizzlies, man, they've awoken the Grizzmaniacs. Grizzmania is alive and well, and they're buzzing. Let's see if the Grizzlies can continue to ride this momentum.
Well, that's exactly why the tradition's dead. You keep that momentum. Yep. That affected the ice. Grizzlies get it. Turn. Finds with a breakaway. He skates down the middle. Fires with a righty shot. Saved by Shield. Finds with a breakaway. Now Idaho comes back the other way. They're at neutral ice. Zane Franklin. Grizzmania is running wild here at Maverick Center. Franklin across Ducharme. He enters right side. He'll dump it in. Mayhew got hit up high. Big time hit behind Utah's net. As action really picking up. Though and Franklin battle at the far goal line. Idaho chips it out in front. It goes to the right side. Heiskanen skates towards the right circle. He's being shadowed by Cutler. Action in the Grizzlies zone. Though drags down Franklin the slot. Ducharme, right wing shots blocked. Now puck goes back to the right side. Penalty is going to be on Aaron Thoe. Up top, Casey Johnson throws the high slot for Kawaguchi. He'll slide to the right side. Now up top for Heiskanen, righty one-timer. And it's blocked out in front. We get a whistle as Aaron Thoe goes to the penalty box as him and Zane Franklin started battling. And Thoe dragged Franklin down in the slot. Trent Miner is down. He's in the crease. He'll be slow to get back to his feet as Idaho goes back on the power play with Utah leading 2-1.
Oh, and Tyson, I hate to say it, but this is a bad penalty for Aaron Thoe. I mean, he gets hit by Franklin in the far corner. He takes offense to that. And instead of just letting it go, he continues to pester Franklin. And Franklin gets under his skin and draws that penalty. As Aaron Thoe is caught by the officials. He's the culprit. And he ends up going to the box. I understand you want to retaliate. You want to play physical. But you can't let that play happen. You can't let it get to your head.
Though gets 2 minutes for cross-checking, 9:42 into the second period. So we're about halfway through the scheduled 60-minute bout. Boy, we got ourselves quite a game. Cameron Wright with a power play goal, 8:16 into the second. And then 28 seconds later, Utah to 2-on-1. Messner from the right side fed it across to Fitz with a one-timer that got past Adam Shield before the net got dislodged. Utah wins the draw, and Tyler Penner clears it out. It glides towards the crease. Adam Shield cuts it off, and he'll get to Bardo behind Idaho's net. Still had skate from right to left here in the second period. As Bardo over towards Ducharme, who slides across it, bounced off of Jamison and goes towards the Grizzlies bench. Idaho gets it. Wade Murphy taps it towards Bardo. They'll gain center ice. Left wing pass to Kawaguchi, who enters. He gets hit by McDonald. Puck goes over to the left circle. Grizzlies get it, and Penner clears it out for the second time here on the penalty kill. Penner comes off the ice after a great shift. 1:23 and counting left in Idaho's power play as Bardo skate down the middle. He gets to neutralize. Bardo crosses center. He's being shadowed by Betts. Bardo drives it in and rolls around the boards. Kawaguchi lets it go to Ducharme. Back towards Kawaguchi in the corner. Ducharme goes down. Cameron Wright gets it and he clears it out. 3 clears by the Grizzlies so far on the penalty kill. And we're halfway through Idaho's power play. 9:16 and counting left in the second. Utah leads 2-1. Near side pass to Hedrick. He'll gain center ice as Hedrick steps over the line. He collides with McDonald. The Grizzlies captain goes down. He gets back to his feet. Hedrick back towards Pelton Bice around Utah's net. He'll chip it up top. It's picked off by Betts. Betts carries it out to center ice. He gets around the Steelheads double team. The Hedrick will poke it back to center ice. Meiser throws it back towards Hedrick. It goes over his stick and deeper in the Idaho zone. Patrick Cutler with the puck as he'll skeet down the middle. He's got good size and also speed. He'll glide it towards the far side. Willie Mira, right wing shot, and it's blocked. He might have gotten a piece of a Steelhead. Hedrick drifts it towards the corner. Bice couldn't handle it. Sure, clears it out. 4 clears by the Grizzlies on this penalty kill. As Shield behind his net will give it to Hedrick. 7 seconds left in Tho's penalty. As Keller crosses center ice, he gets to Miller. As Miller skates towards the near corner, he'll slide it around. Tho's out of the box. It's another Utah disaster. Cleanup successful penalty kill. Centering pass, shot to score! As Owen Hedrick goes in the right point, centered it to Colton Keller, who tapped it into the back of the net. It's not a power play goal for Idaho, but they have tied it up with 8:14 left in the second. As Keller high-fives everybody on the Steelheads bench. He's been a glue guy for the Steelheads for a couple of years now. He had 14 goals in 51 regular season games. That was a great pass from Hedrick in the right point. A very hot pass. And Keller was able to just tap it in the back of the net.
And you're right, Tyson. It's not one of those ones that's going to be a power play goal officially, but it might as well be. I mean, Aaron Tho was just barely coming out of the box. We knew it was going to be those tips out in front. That's really the only way to beat Trent Miner right now. Idaho Steelheads got just that. It's a tie game.
Draws mid center ice. We're tied at 2. As draw one by Idaho. St. Franklin skates towards the near side. He gets pushed along the boards. Grizzlies have it. Grizz cross center ice. Nolan Ritchie will dump it in from just outside. He dumped it in towards Schill, who covers up. Saved by Schill. Draw's going to be in the Idaho zone. Keller tied it up. Even strength. 11:46 in with Owen Hedrick and Jade Miller getting the assists.
So for the Grizzlies right now, Tyson, you get those 2 goals. You have all the momentum in the world. Grizzmania is rocking. And you go on the penalty kill, and then after that, you let in a goal. The Grizzlies need to find a way to recapture that energy that they had before taking that penalty. Continue to apply pressure in Idaho's zone.
Game 3. This is just about a must-win for Idaho. It's not an elimination game, but Utah leads the series 2-0. Ritchie will take the draw against Jade Miller in the near side. Shots have been pretty close to even. Utah leads in that count, 22-21. Now Miller is kicked out of the faceoff circle again. Doing his best Michael Pellick impersonation. Misiak will take the draw. As the draw goes towards the end boards, 2 Steelheads skating over there along with 1 Grizzly. As the puck goes towards the near goal line. As Fitz battles, he gets taken down. Now Walker takes down Casey Johnson. Idaho with the puck is Franklin on the far side. We'll chip it out to center ice. Pass doesn't connect. Utah wants icing, and the linesman agrees. Icing on Idaho with 7:45 left in the second. St. Franklin and Johnny Walker exchanging some words. They exchanged some words in November during a key series. Boy, this is about as much fun as you can have. Playoff hockey with a playoff intensity. And you're talking about the mighty Idaho Steelheads that came in with 58 regular season wins, and the Grizzlies are giving them all they can handle. Utah with 2 road wins. They're looking to find a way to take full control of this series here in Game 3. But Idaho's not going to back down easily. We're tied at 2. Draw on the far circles, won by Utah. It's Cameron Wright towards the far side. Defeated around the net. Idaho gets it. They'll tap it off the near glass. Goes to Martell on the right point. He couldn't get much on a pass. And it goes to Jade Miller. Gets the center ice. Luke Martin takes it away. Over to Cameron Wright. Now to Betts, who dumps it in from near the Grizzlies bench. As deep in the Steelhead zone, Casey Johnson battles with Wright. Martell skates over there. Now goes to Betts on the far side. It gets the left circle. Mayhew one-timer saved by Shield. That's actually Shearer that took that shot. As Betts over towards Wright. Up top for Shearer. Over to Martin in the high slot. Martin splits the double team as the puck glides towards the far boards. Martin gets it back, and he'll throw it to Cameron Wright. Now back up top for Martin. He'll take a righty shot. He goes over the head of Schill and off the glass. And Shearer around the net. Martell battles with Heiskanen. Betts in the area. Betts in the right circle. Has a glance off his stick. Casey Johnson skates to the Utah blue line. He gets it. We get a whistle, and we get a hook. Who's it going to be on? It's going to be on Cody Heiskanen. He can't believe this. He argues with David Lilly, the referee, but the Grizzlies are going to get another power play with 6:53 left in the second.
Well, I'm really surprised the amount of penalties that have been handed out in this game, but the director of officiating is in the house tonight, so it looks like the officials want to call a tight game. For the Grizzlies, they seem to be benefiting off of this throughout the course of this game. Another chance on the power play, another chance to take a lead in this game.
Yeah, Heiskanen, unfortunately for him, just got a stick near Betts' waist, kind of dragged him just a little bit. Drown's going to be in the near circle. Brandon Cutler talking things over with Kyle Mayhew. Keaton Jamison will take the draw. Nolan Ritchie's in the right wing. Watch out for Taryn Pfizer. He led Utah with 12 power play goals in the regular season and already won in the playoffs. Cameron Wright with a power play goal tonight as Idaho wins the draw. Boston Bardo will sail it out towards Trent Miner as it glides along the far wing boards. Miner gets it behind his net, and he'll give it to Kyle Mayhew. Utah's got two pretty good power play units as Mayhew gets to neutralize. Right wing pass to Jamison. He drops off for Pfizer. Gets it to Utah blue line now. Finds across the center. Left wing pass to Ritchie who enters. Ritchie gets up top for Mayhew as Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. As Pfizer near the far wing boards will fake it to Mayhew. Now he gets to Mayhew in the right point. Mayhew dancing around. He skates towards his left. He'll fire a lefty shot that's blocked by White. As puck goes towards the far corner, Jamison gets it. As White's in the area. There's Jamison up top for Pfizer. Now to Mayhew. Over to Cutler. One-timer. Kick saved by Shield. Rebound. Jamison couldn't get a shot off. Cutler did a good job controlling Jamison's stick. Pfizer in the left point. With a head nod. Now he gets to Mayhew in the right side. Mayhew dancing around to take a lefty shot. All got redirected by Jamison. Goes wide to make that Ritchie. Puck towards the near corner. Idaho battles. Jamison gets held up with Neerum. As 2-on-2 battle in the corner. Cutler will skate over there. Cutler gets the puck kill. Drifted up top for Mayhew. 45 seconds left in Utah's power play. Cutler skates towards his left. He drops off for Pfizer. Now to Mayhew. Over to Cutler on the left side. Now across to Ritchie, but Idaho got a stick in the way. Great play by Patrick Cudla. And the Steelheads clear it out.
Just too much passing there. Grizzlies need to take a shot.
30 seconds left in Utah's power play. Both teams make a line change. As Pfizer drops off for Martin, who gains center ice with speed. Martin drops off for Walker on the right point. He bobbles the puck for a second. Johnson couldn't clear it out. Betts in the slot, take a lefty shot that goes wide. Johnson, near corner, will throw it back to the right point. Luke Martin keeps it in. Martin, right side, he'll take a righty shot. It's blocked by Johnson. Now another Steelhead gets it, and Jack Becker clears it out. Casey Johnson with a good shift for Idaho. And out of the box is Cody Heiskanen. Unsuccessful power play for the Grizzlies. They're still tied at 2. Jack Becker at the Utah blue line will dump it in. Corey Thomas and Connor McDonald chase after it. McDonald collides with Kawaguchi behind Utah's net. As he still heads towards the near corner. Throw it back up top for Hedrick. Now it's the high slot for Franklin. I tried to redirect it out in front for Becker. Shot saved. Now Kawaguchi out in front. Lefty shot saved by Miner. And we get a whistle. Do we have another penalty? Well, it looked like Kawaguchi was thinking about getting a shot off. He was able to get one on Miner. 4:30 left in the second period. And let's see, is there a penalty either way as play just abruptly stopped? And maybe it just hit off the protective netting and doesn't look like there's any penalty either way. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second. We're back in 30 seconds as we're tied at 2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. 4 minutes and 30 seconds are left in the second period. Utah and Idaho are tied at 2. Idaho scored first 35 seconds in as Wade Murphy found the back of the net for the first time in this series. Idaho led 1-0 after 1. Cameron Wright scored a power play goal, 8:16 in with Luke Martin and Kyle Betts gained the assist. And then 28 seconds later, Utah to 2-on-1. Mick Messner threw it across to Dylan Fitz, who fired a one-timer from the left circle, and it got past Adam Shield. Tyler Penner, the Grizzlies Ironman, also with an assist there. Idaho tied it up 11:46 into the second as Owen Hedrick was in the right point. Centered out in front to Keller just with a one-time tap around the back of the net. Jade Miller also with an assist. We've got ourselves a pretty entertaining game. Utah's outshot Idaho 10-6 in the second period and 24-21 in the contest. Draw one by Idaho. They're in the attack zone as Murphy throws to the right side. Arm is raised by the referee, and it's going to be a penalty on the Grizzlies. McDonald touches up the puck. A slashing is going to be the call, and Dylan Fitz will go to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell as the slash came just milliseconds after the faceoff.
Tough break for the Grizzlies there, Tyson. They've done a good job of neutralizing Idaho's power play throughout the course of this game. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. It's very warm in the building tonight. Either there, I need a new workout plan. Well, in order to get a new workout plan, you need a workout plan in the first place. Time of the slashing penalty, 15:37 into the second period. Dylan Fitz in the box, commence for slashing. Draw one by Utah as Tyler Penner clears it out. Penner with one assist tonight. As Adam Shield behind his net. We'll get it to Dawson Bardo, who's behind Idaho's goal line. As Idaho skating from right to left as we see it from section 114. As Bardo drops it off for Ducharme. He's got plenty of speed and skill. Ducharme gets neutralized across the center. Now he steps over the line, skates towards the corner. He'll drift it around. As it goes to Murphy, who gets pushed by Thomas. Murphy lost his balance. Jamison gets the puck and he'll clear it out. As Adam Schill skates to the near corner to cut it off. He'll get it to Bardo. As Bardo gets to the Idaho blue line, he'll chip it to his right. As Misiak dumps there, make that A.J. White. Miner behind his net. Will throw it to the far side. It goes over the head of A.J. White and down towards the Steelhead zone. Ducharme gets it in the far circle of Idaho's end. As he gets the puck, he'll drop it off for Dawson Bardo. Grizzlies make a line change. About halfway through Idaho's power play. We're tied at 2 late in the second period. Bardo skates down the middle. Right wing pass to Hedrick. Now it's the left side for Kawaguchi. He's in the left circle. Slides across to Kudla. Now Ducharme. He's all alone. He'll take a lefty shot. Got redirected, goes wide. Martin skates towards the near corner. He collides with the Steelhead. Puck ends up in the left point. Hedrick gets it. And he'll throw it to Ducharme. Back to Kudla along the far goal line. Kudla surveys. Now he fires it out in front. It bounced off a stick and flies towards the near corner. Kawaguchi lines it up top for Hedrick, who skates towards his right. Now back to Kawaguchi. Left circle. Shot. Saved by Miner. As that was a nice-looking slap shot by Jordan Kawaguchi. And Miner made about a chest-high save and was able to corral it with 31 seconds left in Idaho's power play.
Good save from Miner, Tyson, but it seems like what the Steelheads are trying to do is they're trying to get those tips out in front. That's how they got their second goal. Grizzlies need to be aware of that. There's going to be guys streaking into the slot, just trying to get those tips out in front, screening Miner. The Grizzlies need to box out the crease. Just be aware, because that's what Idaho's looking for.
Drosky in the near side. Jade Miller will take it against Keaton Jamison. 2:54 left in the second. We're tied at 2. Grizzlies have outscored the Steelheads 2-1 in the second period after Idaho led 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. Miller and Jamison take the draw, and it's won by Idaho. Hedrick in the left point will skate towards his right. He'll feed it to Kudla. Back to Hedrick. One-timer, and it goes wide. Let's see what stick side on Miner. Keller in the left point. And so throw it to the near goal line from Misiak, who slides up top for Hedrick. Now to Kudla. One-timer, and it's blocked. Puck bounces out to center ice. As Hedrick gets the wobbling puck, he'll slide it across to Kudla, who's at the Idaho blue line. Now Kudla gains the red line. 5 seconds left in the power play. Kudla gains the line from the right side. He drops off from Miller. Miller across to Keller. One-timer is blocked by Penner, and it flies out of play. Dylan Fitz comes out of the box as the puck hit the protective netting as Utah blocked it. 2:21 left in the second period. We're tied at 2. It's a Utah disaster cleanup, successful penalty kill.
That's a really good block for Tyler Penner, Tyson. And for the Grizzlies, all series long, they've done a really good job of getting bodies in front of shots. The shot blocking has been key for the Grizzlies in this series. Every guy is just laying it out on the line, sacrificing the body to make plays.
Don't forget to be part of Grizzmanias. Utah's on the hunt for a Kelly Cup. Game 4 will be on Friday night. Gear tickets, UtahGrizzlies.com. Utah wins the draw. They're on their own end as Mayhew throws to the far side as Cutler back towards Ritchie, who slides out to center ice where it's taken back by Zane Franklin. He'll toss across to Pelton Bice, who glides along the boards as Mayhew in the far corner taps it around for Tho. As Tho slides it towards Pfizer, it goes past him and out to center ice. Casey Johnson gathers it for Idaho. Johnson gets to the red line and he'll dump it in As Mayhew behind Utah's net will slide it towards the far side. It goes past Though and back towards the slot. Johnson, left wing, lefty shot, and tapped off the stick of Cutler and flies out of play with 1:48 left in the second.
See, again, another Grizzly, not blocking a shot this time, but really just getting a stick on that puck, sending it into the netting. And the Grizzlies have just done a really good job of reading Idaho's plays on the blue line to the point where they are getting sticks on pucks, blocking shots, really stymieing Idaho's chances back at the blue line.
It's been fun as this has just been good hockey. A lot of blocked shots. The defensive units are solid. We got good goaltenders on both sides. It's just been a fun series to watch.
It's been really fun, Tyson, and that's why I think if you haven't already gotten your tickets for Game 4, go to UtahGrizzlies.com and get them right now because it's going to be a fun one.
Betts will take the draw in the near circle against A.J. White. White wins the faceoff. Kawaguchi gets around White. He's in the near corner dancing around. Kawaguchi feeds up top to Bardo. Left wing, righty shot. And Miner gloves the low liner about ankle high. He holds on with 1:41 left in the second. Draw's going to stay in the Grizzlies zone.
Really just surprised at how much play kind of opened up in the middle of the second period. I think in all games that we've seen in this series, it's just been very tight hockey, very defensive, just tightly knit, not a lot of goals. He's kind of blew up here in the middle of the second frame. Now it's kind of toned back a little bit.
Both teams making quick decisions with the puck as Idaho wins the draw. They bounce it off. The fits does Wade Murphy. Idaho re-enters the zone as Kawaguchi taps towards the right corner. White chases over there. He gets hit by Shearer. As Murphy throws it from one corner to the other, Kyle Betts will chase after it. 2 Kyles on the Grizzlies club, or actually 3 with Kyle Pouncey who's a scratch tonight. Puck goes to center ice. Fitz gets hit with a high stick. We get a whistle, and we get another penalty. This one's going to be on the Steelheads. Fitz trying to show blood. The referee checks his face. Looks like it's just going to be a 2-minute penalty as Wade Murphy goes to the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. 1:21 left in the second period. We're tied at 2.
I'm just very surprised at the amount of penalties in this game, Tyson. And really, a lot of them you can call. It just seems kind of tacky, though. But, I mean, as I said before,
I think with the effort that both teams are playing with tonight, it's just one of those things that happens. It just, sometimes when you play hard, you're going to commit penalties. And I think that's part of why the Mountain Division usually has some of the top penalized teams in the league, although Idaho is not one of them. They were near the bottom in the league in penalty minutes per game.
And I really can't complain too much as the Grizzlies have benefited a lot from these calls here in the second period. It's just kind of strange to me because usually when you think about playoff hockey, you think about just not a lot of penalties, not a lot of power plays.
1:21 left in the second period. We're tied at 2. Utah wins the draw. Martell on the right side over to Martin in the high slot. Martin with a righty shot that goes wide. Cameron Wright gets it off the boards in the left wing. He'll slide it across to Martell. Now to Martin, who fakes a one-timer. Luke Martin across to Cameron Wright. Now to Betts. One-timer from the slot. He didn't get much on it. Rooster over to Wright. He swings and misses the puck. Glides towards the end boards. He loses it. Idaho gets the puck, and they'll clear it out. Like Grizzlies with some chances there and just kind of didn't get much on one-timers.
They just weren't on the same page.
50 seconds left in the second period. Idaho makes a line change. Grizzlies keep the same 5-man unit out there. Martin drops it off for Cutler, gets to center ice. Cutler crosses center ice. He'll skate towards the left circle with speed. Now Cutler around Idaho's net, chips out in front. Picked off by Jack Becker, who will bounce it off of Kyle Betts. It glides to center ice. Martin gets it at the Utah blue line. He'll skate towards the near side. Now he throws it to Cutler. Johnny Walker wants the puck at the Idaho blue line. Cutler keeps the puck. He'll drop it off for Ritchie. Now to Martell, who skates towards the right circle. Take a righty shot. On it's blocked out in front by Casey Johnson, who gets it and clears it out. Good job by Casey Johnson. He's been outstanding for Idaho on the penalty kill tonight. 10 seconds left in the period. Martin and neutral ice. He'll cross center. 6 seconds left. He'll throw it to Pfizer on the right wing. Grizzlies enter. Now across to Walker. 2 seconds left to take a righty shot that goes wide. Puck bounced off the boards. Pfizer couldn't get the rebound as it glanced over his stick. And that will do it for 40 minutes of play here at Maverick Center. And boy, we got a barn burner tonight. Idaho led 1-0 after one period. Then the Grizzlies scored 2 goals 28 seconds apart as Cameron Wright and Dylan Fitz found the back of the net. Idaho's Colton Keller and a centering pass from Owen Hedrick, who is hanging out in the right point. Keller put it away. That tied it up at 2. Wade Murphy yelling at the referee, or one of the referees, David Lilly, because there's 2 referees and 2 linesmen tonight. Now Jade Miller talking with Austin O'Rourke, trying to buy some third period goals. Cameron Wright telling Miller and Keller to go to the locker room, as obviously Idaho trying to buy some calls in the third period. It's been called tightly here through 2 periods. Both teams, I guess, are going to just have to make that adjustment. Through 2 periods, we're tied at 2. We got the makings of an outstanding third period. And you think about what's at stake tonight. It's not an elimination game here in the best-of-7 series. The Utah does lead 2-0. And boy, that'd be huge if the Grizzlies can come away here with Game 3. We'll come back, and Guy Chiarenza will quarterback second intermission coverage as we're tied at 2 after 40 minutes of play on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Grizzlies and Steelheads tied at 2 after 40 minutes of play. Rio Tinto Kennecott's second intermission report starts now. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Tyson Whiting. We're having fun here at the Maverick Center, and so are all the Grizz Maniacs, as it's great to be back here with live hockey here at the Maverick Center. Game 4 will be on Friday night. Get your tickets if you haven't already, because it's going to be a fun one. And this one was fun so far as well, as 35 seconds in, Wade Murphy makes it a 1-0 game in favor of the Steelheads from White and Bardo. And the Steelheads weren't happy with their play in the first 2 games, charged right down. It was A.J. White dishing the puck off to the left side, and Murphy was able to catch Miner off guard. The Steelheads scored on the first shot of the game. The rest of the period was scoreless, and it was 1-0 Idaho until 8:16 into the second period. Cameron Wright on a shot from the far circle made it a 1-1 game. Barton and Betts get the assist, and that is a power play goal for the Grizzlies, their second power play goal of the series. Then just 28 seconds later, Dylan Fitz on a 2-on-1 with Mick Messner. Fitz is able to capitalize on the one-timer, and he makes it a 2-1 game for the Grizzlies. Messner and Penner pick up the assists on that. But Idaho would respond. 11:46 into the second period. Colton Keller, deflection out in front. There was nothing Miner could do about it. And so he makes it a 2-2 game. That's from Hedrick and Miller. And it's not going to go out down as a power play goal, but it might as well, because it was just seconds after Aaron Tho was coming out of the box. So really, it still was a 5-on-4 situation. Tho was kind of trying to join the play. So that's where we stand. After 40 minutes of play, it's 2-2. It's anybody's game. Shots for 10-8 in favor of the Grizzlies in the second period, and they hold the edge in the entire game with 24-23 over Idaho. Grizzlies are currently in the midst of a power play opportunity. There's 39 seconds remaining on that. And so far, Utah's 1 for 6 on the power play in this game. Idaho's 0 for 5. Grizzlies penalty kill has done an excellent job in this game. A lot of penalties. Unit's been out there a lot for the Grizzlies, but they've done a fantastic job. And Trent Miner is doing Trent Miner things. He's got that dog in him. He's a brick wall, as the Grizzlies social media team has pointed out time and time again. He stopped 21 of 23 in this game so far. And getting the start for the Steelheads was Adam Shield. He stopped 22 of 24. Really, Tyson, the story so far has been the special teams department. Idaho is 0 for 5 on the power play. The Grizzlies have connected once, and that's the difference so far. Grizzlies have the edge in special teams, and that's why we're tied here right now.
It's interesting when you turn my mic on first. It's really interesting considering that you knew that was going to be a focus for Idaho coming in, was improving the power play, which is 0 for 25 over the last 9 games. And they've had some good looks. And remember, the goal that was scored by Keller was just seconds after a power play ended, though came out of the box 11:42 into the second period. And the Idaho goal by Keller was scored 11:46 in. So 4 seconds after a power play ended, Idaho found the back of the net. And so, kind of them being on the man advantage, even though they didn't score on the power play, what they were working on kind of paid off just after the power play ended. I think the big thing, the special teams are certainly critical. If you're the Grizzlies, you want to find a way on one of these power plays to take a lead because, there's been a lot of chances on both sides. Utah's 1 for 6 and Idaho's 0 for 5. So there's been a lot of chances considering that the officiating unit is calling it tight tonight. And I think both teams are trying to make that adjustment, but both teams want to play hard. It's just sometimes you play hard, you hit somebody with a high stick, or in a case of that one penalty that was called on Neeram, icing was called, and he just decided he wanted to take a shot at Kyle Mayhew after the whistle. Now, sometimes that could be let go, but this officiating crew decided they're going to make the call there. It's just one of those things that, you're going to have to be smart because it doesn't look like you're going to get away with that extra shot after the whistle, things like that.
Yeah, well, and the director of officiating is in the house. It's just a few seats over to my right. So you got to think that that's looming over the officials in this game. They want to call it tight. For the Grizzlies, you just got to find a way to keep your cool. And I keep thinking back to that Tho penalty that came about 58 seconds after Dylan Fisk got Utah's second goal of the game. At that point, it's 2-1 Grizzlies. They've had great chances after that goal. They had all the momentum in the world, and then you just take a penalty like that. And I understand. It's a playoff game. There's a lot of tension. Emotions are high. Tho gets hit by Franklin. He takes offense to it, but he just keeps on going. And for Aaron Tho, you got to let the play go. I know you don't want to. I know you want to retaliate. But in a game like this where you know that they're going to be looking for that instigator, they're going to be calling this game really tight, you just can't be taking a penalty like that. And I think it just sucked all the momentum away from the Grizzlies. And while Idaho did not technically score on the power play, they got the momentum off that power play and scored just seconds after it. So ill-advised penalty for the Grizzlies. And I think in the third period, you just got to keep your cool and you got to play smart and disciplined hockey. You can't be going to the penalty box.
One thing we mentioned coming into the second period was Utah needed to win more faceoffs. Idaho won that battle 11-4. But in the second period, Utah won the faceoff battle 14-11. And I think you can notice in terms of just the flow of the game, Utah had the puck a little bit more than they did in the first period because they were winning more faceoffs than they did in the first period. So that's certainly critical. And I got a feeling third period, you're going to see Kyle Betts, Keaton Jamison take a lot of Utah's faceoffs. And, that's going to be – it could end up making a difference in this game. Who ends up winning those faceoff battles, who ends up getting those scoring chances. And, you've seen some crazy goals. We saw the Kyle Betts goal in game one that was bounced off the top of the net.
Yep.
And, you almost have a feeling with as strong as both teams' goaltenders are, it's going to take a redirection. It's going to take some funny bounce. That might end up deciding the game. Who gets that centering pass through with a guy, kind of like that Keller goal.
Yep.
It might be a goal like that ends up deciding this game.
Well, it seems like that's exactly what the Steelheads are trying to do. Most of their chances were just shots from the blue line. They tried to fight a guy just streaking into the slot and get a tip out in front. And they've been trying to screen Trent Miner. And we talked about it in the pregame. It's a goaltending duel. Both guys are playing great in net for their respective clubs. Really, the only way that you're going to beat him is either a really well-placed shot or it's a tip out in front, and you screen him so he just can't see the puck. And so I think both teams know that. They understand that. For the most part, the Grizzlies have done a really good job of clearing the crease and limiting the screens out in front, those tip-ins. But you got to be aware of it. You're right, the face-off circle, the Grizzlies winning the face-off edge in the second period, it was apparent. The Grizzlies had possession more often than they did in the first period, and as a result of that, they were able to get a few goals. The other thing I look at here for the Grizzlies, though, is in the second period, they out-hit the Steelheads 12-6. Yeah. It really was a physical second period for the Grizzlies. I'm not entirely sure the Grizzlies were too happy with the way they played in the first period. It wasn't great. It wasn't super bad. And I think they were disappointed with that. I think they know they were better. And they came out and really wanted to set a tone, play physical, and also get some goals. And they were able to do just that.
It's kind of interesting with as many power plays as it was in the second period. According to the off-ice officials, there weren't that many power play shots. Idaho was 0 for 3 on the power play, and they had 4 power play shots. Utah had 4 power plays in the second period. They were 1 for 4. Yet in their 4 power play opportunities, they only had 3 power play shots. And I know one of them was abbreviated, and you have to do some complicated math to figure out just how much power play time both teams had in the second period. But it's kind of interesting to think there were more power play shots taken in the first period by a wide margin, 11 for Utah and 6 for Idaho. Yet in the second period, despite having a lot of power play opportunities, there weren't that many shots.
Well, I think that happens for two reasons. One, I think that at this point in the game, the other team is accustomed to what the other power play is starting to throw at them, so they're able to adapt and really kind of pinch down on those chances. And for the Grizzlies, they just really haven't been taking that many shots. I mean, there's plenty of chances for them to take a shot. But, I mean, there were times in the second period where they just held on the puck and really just tried to make a pass instead of a shot. Just looking for that tic-tac-toe play to beat Shield. Because really, as we said before, I mean, it's going to take a lot to beat these guys in net. And so I think the Grizzlies understand that. But I feel like they're just trying to do a little too much, just too much passing. At some point, you just got to take that shot and then crash the net and try and get that rebound. So I'd like to see a bit more shooting from the Grizzlies on the power play here in the third.
Tied at 2 here in the second intermission. The winner of this series will face the winner of Allen and Kansas City. Both teams are off tonight, and I imagine both Allen and Kansas City are watching this series with close intent, not just because the winner of this series plays the winner of that one, but because of what Utah has done here so far in this series. Utah clinched the playoff spot on the last day. Idaho had the most wins of any team in the regular season in league history, and yet the Grizzlies are one period away from taking a 3-0 series lead.
It's the playoffs, Tyson. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, we said right before game one, okay, all these records that Idaho set, they got the wins record, anything else you can probably think of, they probably got that too. Take that and chuck it out the window. It doesn't matter right now. And the Grizzlies, I mean, they caught fire at the right time, and they believed in this group, and that's why they were able to steal 2 games at Idaho Central Arena. They believed in this group. They believed that they can go and knock off the Idaho Steelheads. We're tied 2-2. It's going to be a wild third period, but the Grizzlies right now have a chance to take a 3-0 series lead.
That's one of the things I noticed. The Grizzlies came into this series, and they believed they could win. It's not really that much of a surprise to them. Game 3 tied at 2. Utah leads 2-0. Regardless of what happens tonight, we'll be back for Game 4, the best-of-7 series. That's going to be Friday night, 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off. Obviously, we want you tuned in here to Flow Sports and YouTube. But you know what we really want is for you to be here at Maverick Center. Get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com and be part of something special. It's going to be a lot of fun here on Friday night. Great quality of hockey. 2 teams are making quick decisions with the puck, and really it's been a very aesthetically pleasing brand of hockey. It's really bringing out just about everything you want to see in a hockey game. And this is probably the best ticket in town right now. Get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com and be part of the excitement of live playoff hockey as the Grizzlies are on the hunt for the 2023 Kelly Cup. When we come back, we'll go over some NHL and NBA scores, and we'll start third period action. As we're tied at 2, don't forget the Grizzlies are going to be on the power play for the first 39 seconds of the third period. We're tied at 2. It's the Rio Tinto Kennecott Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to Maverick Center. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Third period action will begin shortly here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. In overtime before the Panthers keep their season alive, they defeat the Boston Bruins 4-3 in the East Division Semifinals. Boston still leads that series 3-2. Halfway through at Ball Arena, Seattle and Colorado are tied at 1. That's the pivotal Game 5. The series is tied 2 games apiece. In the NBA playoffs, the New York Knicks advanced to the second round as Donovan Mitchell once again is one and done in the postseason. Knicks 106, Cavaliers 95. The Memphis Grizzlies get a 116-99 victory over the LA Lakers as Memphis keeps their season alive. Lakers still lead that series 3-2. Just starting out the third quarter, Milwaukee leads Miami 69-68. That's a big one for Milwaukee. It's an elimination game. Miami leads that series 3-1. And 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Golden State leads Sacramento 56-52. That series is tied 2 games apiece. It's Game 5 in that set. Well, we got an outstanding second period here in store. The Grizzlies going to be on the power play the first 39 seconds of the final regulation frame as Idaho takes the ice, and so did the Grizzlies. Goals going to be a premium here this series because of the goaltending. Utah scored 2 goals in each of the first 2 games of this series, with obviously the third goal in each of the first 2 games coming on an empty net. Trent Miner's only allowed 2 goals through 2 games in this series, both of them coming in the third period of Game 2. He's allowed 2 goals here through 2 periods. Adam Shield allowed 2 goals 28 seconds apart in the second period. And we got ourselves a dandy here. Shots have been pretty close to even, and really just the game flow feels like it's been pretty close to even as well.
It's been a great game, Tyson. Really back and forth. 2 really great teams going against each other, and it's going to come down to whoever capitalizes on the other team's mistake. I think it's going to be a tight third period. I think the next goal probably wins this game just based off of the first 2 games and the way that this game has been going. It's been really tight. You win some goals, we're at a premium. I think it's going to be that way here. The Grizzlies need to get that goal. They also need to find a way to keep playing good defensive hockey.
One forward in particular has looked outstanding for the Grizzlies is Brandon Cutler. He's been active all night. He leads Utah with 6 shots. For Idaho, Wade Murphy, who scored their first goal on their first shot of the game, 35 seconds, and he's been a standout for Idaho. Murphy's in the box right now for the first 39 seconds of the third period. Johnny Walker, that second period, he got some power play time. He's going to be on the ice to start the third period. Watch out for Johnny Walker. You know, either on a redirection or just kind of being a pest out there, out in front of the net in the offensive zone.
I really like to see that, Tyson. I think he's got a great shot, which can be utilized on the power play, but I really like what he's done in front of the net, just really screening Shield, giving him a tough time. Maybe Johnny Walker takes it and fires it from one of the circles in, or maybe he deflects it in, but I really think you're right. He's a guy to watch for here on the power play.
Grizzlies to start the third period with Betts, Wright, Martell, Johnny Walker, and Luke Martin. The 4 on the ice for Idaho to start the third period. A.J. White, along with Casey Johnson, Willie Miram, and number 51, Dawson Bardo. Watch out for Johnson. He's been great on Idaho's penalty kills here so far tonight. Grizzlies going to skate from right to left as we see it from high top section 114. Your mind's eye, see it on YouTube. Idaho from left to right. Steelheads win the face-off, and they'll dump it all the way towards Trent Miner as Luke Martin gets it. Grizzlies from right to left as Martin gets around near him. Now Martin with good speed crosses center ice. He'll skate down the middle, trying to get over to Betts in the left wing. As Idaho trying to clear it out, it bounced off of Walker. He'll get it to Martin in the near corner. Up top for Walker on the left side. He'll skate towards his right. He'll drop it off for Martin, who's now on the left point. Martin skates towards his right. Over to the Rooster in the left circle. He bobbled the puck and lost it. Bardo towards the end boards, gets it to Casey Johnson. 5 seconds left in the power play. As Walker behind the net loses it. Bardo spins along the near wall. Wade Murphy comes out of the box. As Utah wasn't able to get a shot on the abbreviated power play, Murphy sprints to the bench. And the Grizzlies with the puck deep in their own zone. We're still tied at 2, 50 seconds into the third period. Pfizer across to Ritchie. It glanced off his skate as Colton Keller lifts it in. Keller has the tying goal right now. He scored 11 minutes into the second period. As Pfizer gets to neutralize, gets held up by Walker. Now Ritchie takes the puck, drops it off on the right point for Pfizer as puck lands off of Keller's stick. So get to center ice, right wing pass to Hedrick. He has to go past him. Mayhew gets it in the Grizzlies zone near side. They're moving out to Cutler. Rink wide pass to Pfizer. It bounced over his stick, but didn't glance on his stick as icing is called on the Grizzlies with 18:40 left in the third.
Well, Cutler's very lucky that pass hopped over the stick of Pfizer, because if that connects, he's off to the races. And we know what Terran Pfizer can do on the breakaway. He's got a great shot, great hands. Just a missed opportunity for the Grizzlies there.
Idaho talking things over. Pelton Bice over there with Ducharme and Willie Nerum. Nolan Ritchie will take the draw for Utah. This is valuable postseason experience that Ritchie is getting. I got a feeling whoever gets Ritchie, whether it's the Grizzlies or somebody else, is getting an outstanding player for next season. Draw won by the Steelheads. Cudla, left wing shot. Saved by Miner. As Utah netminder makes a routine glove save on a shot from the left point, taken by Patrick Cudla. 18:36 left in the third, and the draw is going to stay in the Grizzly zone on the far side.
Good save by Miner, but Pelton Bice was creeping into the blue paint there, just trying to screen him at the top of the crease. Grizzlies need to be aware that that's what the Idaho Steelheads tried to do in the second period, and they're going to try it again here in the third.
Try to take away Miner's vision. Obviously, if you can't see it, it's tough to stop. Grizzlies win the draw. McDonald over to Thomas, who lines to Tyler Penner, lifts it out to center ice, picked off by Justin Ducharme, who fires a shot, saved by Miner in the butterfly position. Goes out to Dylan Fitz, who's got a goal tonight. Over to center ice. Jameson makes a nice move on Bice. He skates to the right circle. He'll take a righty shot, and he gets back checked by Cudla. Jameson couldn't get the shot off. It's Hedrick. Lies to Pelton Bice, who crosses center ice. Now to Nerum, who skates down the middle. Back to Bice. Left circle. Lefty shot. Saved by Miner. Trent holds on. 18-13 left in the third. As Idaho trying to get that transition game going and trying to turn defense into offense to get that leading goal.
And Tyson, it all started with a chance for Keaton Jameson. Just had a really good look, but the puck just kind of flubbed off his stick, and the Idaho Steelheads were quick to take it and go the other way. So good job for the Grizzlies on the back check. And Trent Miner finishes it off with a save.
We're tied at 2 here early in the third period. Having a lot of fun here at Maverick Center. Don't forget to get your tickets for Game 4 on Friday night. Draws in the far circle again. Jameson will take it against Willie Nerum as Idaho wins the draw. Haskinen around Utah's net. As now he's towards the right side. So Idaho spins it back to the left point. Murphy across to Johnson, who skates towards the right side. As he'll skate around the net, A.J. White gets poked away. Kawaguchi left side shot saved by Miner. Puck goes back up top for Haskinen. Murphy hits the left side. Murphy one-timer saved by Miner. He gathers it and holds on. 17:48 left in the third. Idaho's been aggressive offensively here. And
Grizzlies were kind of caught scrambling in their own end. The puck just kind of ping-ponging around. Nobody was able to locate it. Those are dangerous plays. The first 2 games, the Grizzlies were really good at having eyes in the back of their head and really sweeping those chances away. They got to be alert here.
I apologize to the people on Flow Sports who were watching us to start the third period. Now on YouTube, this is the audio broadcast. Flow Sports is the exclusive online streaming provider of the league. Idaho wins the draw. Johnson, high slot, lefty shot. Glove saved by Miner. You can tell the Idaho game plan coming into this third period is fire away early and often and be ultra aggressive offensively.
Well, you add the screen to that, Tyson. Earlier on, I was talking about Ty Pelton Bice. Kawaguchi was making his name at the top of the crease, trying to screen Miner there. Grizzlies need to box him out. They can't let that happen.
A.J. White will take the draw against Kyle Betts in the near circle. A lot of whistles here in the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds of the third period. Draw won by the Grizzlies as Shearer throws to the far corner for Martell. Gets it back to Luke Martin, who chips out to Kyle Betts, who gets hit at the Utah blue line. Puck at neutral ice. Betts battles. It goes to Idaho. We get a whistle. I think Kyle Betts is going to get called for a hook. Somebody is, but it's not Betts. Wade Murphy can't believe it. He started the third period in the box, and he's going there and again. 2 minutes for hooking. 17:35 left to go in regulation as Murphy gets Idaho's first penalty of the third period.
Well, another great chance for the Grizzlies here, Tyson, to connect it once on the power play in this game. This is a great opportunity, and it starts with winning this faceoff here in the offensive zone, something the Grizzlies struggled with in the first period, got better at doing in the second period. Let's see if they can crack it here in the third.
Jameson will take the draw. Ritchie in the right wing. Draw is going to come to the near circle. Pfizer's out there. Watch out for him. One-timers from the left circle could be his specialty, but he's going to hang out in the right wing. Richie on the left side, up front. Jameson will take the draw up top as Brandon Cutler and Kyle Mayhew. Cutler with 6 shots on goal here through 2 periods. Draw one by the Grizzlies. Cutler gets to Mayhew. He skates towards the high slot. Now to Cutler just outside the right circle. Cutler takes a lefty shot. Saved by Shield. Rebound goes to the far corner. Cutler feeds it up top for Mayhew. Skates towards his left. Mayhew, toe drag. Lefty shot goes wide off the glass. Cutler gets it back and he'll switch places with Mayhew. Cutler chips to Pfizer on the left side. Pfizer takes a righty shot. I got redirected and goes wide. Cutler, as he's falling down, took a shot, and it's taken away by Kudla, who spins along the far boards and clears it out. Miner behind his net. We'll give it to Kyle Mayhew. Skates around the net. Mayhew looks like he's going to be an outstanding pro. He had 6 goals in his college career. He'll drop it off for Cutler. I imagine Mayhew's going to score more as a pro. Cutler gains center ice, so wrap it around the boards. Goes back over. Pfizer gets hit. Puck goes to Jameson. Now to Pfizer in the far corner. Pfizer's scar is healing up nicely on his face. I saw it earlier today. Puck goes back to Willie Niram, and he clears it out. Scary scene on April 15th, the final game of the regular season, when Tyron Pfizer took a skate to the face. He was back on the bench by the time the game ended. As Martin gets to neutral ice, so dropping off from Martell. 50 seconds left in the power play. We get a penalty as there is a collision at the blue line. Martin collided with Zach Walker. I think it's Martin that's going to the box. Martin is standing at the Idaho blue line. He can't believe it. Neither is Zach Walker. Martin looks like he's skating to the penalty box, and so is Idaho's Zach Walker. So a penalty on both teams.
Well, I guess that takes us to a 4-on-3 situation for the next 47 seconds as Murphy's still in the box. And I really think this could benefit the Grizzlies, just having that open ice with their speed, but this is a play where you'd like to have Barton out there on the ice, kind of quarterbacking things. Looks like Mayhew's going to take that job here.
Martin got 2 minutes for holding, and then I think Murphy got roughing, as both guys are battling at the Idaho blue line. Draw's going to be in the near circle. Looks like it's going to be a 5-on-4 power play for Utah, but the draw is going to be at neutral ice. 47 seconds left of a 5-on-4. And then after that, Murphy will come out of the box and make it a 5-on-5 situation. As a drop is won by Idaho, as Heiskanen goes down, no call. Mayhew over to Betts. Betts gets to the Idaho blue line. He gets hit by White, and the Steelheads clear it out. Good job by Cody Heiskanen. It was Murphy that got, or Zach Walker that got 2 for holding, and Martin got 2 for roughing. 4 minutes into the third period. Cameron Wright in his own zone has the puck as he's in front of Trent Miner, skating 5-on-4. Utah on the power play for the next 17 seconds. As Mayhew feeds it to the near side for Betts and neutral ice. He'll slide it across to right. Now to Martell in the slot. He gets poked away by Heiskanen and goes out to neutral ice. Walker throws it back to Mayhew. 5 seconds left in the power play. Mayhew with a left wing pass to Martell, dumps it in. Betts chasing after it. As Murphy's out of the box, he'll join the play. Action in the Steelhead zone. A.J. White moves ahead to Murphy. Glanced off his skate. As Corey Thomas battles with Murphy. Thomas will throw it towards the Grizzlies penalty box area. He gets the puck. As he'll throw it back to the right side. Murphy gets pushed by McDonald deep in the Grizzlies zone. As Jade Miller skates over there, he battles with Corey Thomas. Thomas pushes Miller in the back. Miller gets held up by Thomas. The puck squirts towards Utah's net. Now Murphy gets it poked away. Puck goes to the near side. Skating over there and getting it's Misiak. He'll slide it up top for Hedrick. Now to Kudla, left point. Lefty shot goes wide. As Penner collides with Misiak along the near glass. Johnny Walker lifts over the head of Hedrick. It goes into the Steelhead zone. Kudla chases after it. He gets it. He collides with Mick Messner. As Hedrick moves out to center ice. Miller couldn't reach it. Sure chasing after it. And the arm is raised by the linesman as Idaho's called for icing with 14:45 left in regulation.
Still plenty of time for the Grizzlies to take the lead here in the third period, Tyson, but the Grizzlies are to fall in this game. I think you got to look at the power play. They do have 1 power play goal in the game, but they've gone 1 for 8. That's just not good enough. For the Grizzlies, if you are able to get back on the power play, you got to find a way to start connecting.
Draw's going to be in the far circle of the Steelhead zone. Tyler Penner will take the draw against Jade Miller. Penner has appeared in every game for the Grizzlies since the start of the 2021-22 regular season. Played his college hockey at Colgate. He stares down Jade Miller. And the draw won by Idaho. They're deep in their own zone, skating from left to right. As Hedrick over to Franklin sporting a playoff beard. Actually, he's had a beard all year long. Over to Misiak, who gains the offensive line. He'll skate towards his left. He'll take a lefty shot, and it glances off the stick of James Shearer and flies out of play with 14:34 left in regulation.
That's a pretty nice beard that he's got there. And I had my beard through the entire season, but figured that's cheating if you go into the playoffs with the beard. So I had to scrap that, but it's coming in nicely. We got some growth growing here, and I think it's going to be a long run for the Grizzlies. I think they better get ready. I think that this team has what it takes to go deep into the playoffs. So in a couple of weeks, a lot of these guys are going to be looking pretty scruffy. That's exactly what you want to see.
Which is great because the team picture was taken yesterday. You want to get that playoff facial hair. I scrapped mine, though. Penner will take the draw against Ty Pelton Mice. I don't know. Once I get a beard growing, I don't know how to trim it properly. So I kind of at some point just have to get rid of it. Draws in the far circle. 14:34 left in regulation. Tied at 2. Critical game 3. Utah leads the series 2-0. Puck towards the right side as Utah couldn't clear it out. Puck lifts high into the air. It's gloved and dropped by Johnson. He'll backhand it back in as Miner cuts it off behind his net. He'll get it to Shearer. James Shearer, the former Brandon Wheat Kings captain. He played his college hockey at the University of Calgary. He'll tap it off the near wing boards. Dylan Fitz over towards Cutler. And Bardo gets it back to center ice. Bardo got hit pretty hard by Fitz. As Ducharme slides it to the far side as Johnson enters. He tap sticks with McDonald. Johnson to the right side, gets up top for Bardo. Right point, righty shot. Gets redirected and goes wide as Keller was out in front. Keller gets the puck. He'll throw it up top for Bardo, who slides across to Ducharme. Now down the middle for Johnson. He'll take a lefty shot, and it's blocked by Thomas. Thomas gets the puck along the far wing boards. He'll get it to Fitz at neutral ice. Fitz crosses center ice. He'll dump it in. Grizzlies make a line change. 13.5 minutes left in regulation. We're tied at 2. Neither team has scored here so far in the third. As Cutler spins around Bardo, and that's going to be a penalty with as tight as things have been called here so far. And the puck ended up sailing towards the referee, and luckily Cutler didn't get called there. According to how the game's been called tonight, that is a penalty as Cutler just spun around Bardo and gets 2 minutes for holding. Idaho's on the power play when we come back in 1 minute. We're tied at 2 with 13:32 left in regulation. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
We're tied at 2, 13:32 left in regulation. Brandon Cutler gets 2 minutes for holding. Time of penalty, 6:28 into the third period as he's in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. Idaho is 0 for 6 in the power play. Utah is 1 for 8. We're out of 4,328 here at Maverick Center tonight. As Jamison will take the draw against A.J. White. White is an expert on the face-off circle. We saw that when he was with the Grizzlies 2 years ago. Draw one by Idaho. Kawaguchi slides up top for Bardo. He'll skate towards his right. As Bardo takes a righty shot. It's blocked by Jamison. It goes back to Bardo. He's now on the left side. He'll feed it to Murphy. Now up top for Kawaguchi. He's all alone to the left side. He'll get it back to Murphy. He tried to slide it out in front to Ducharme. It's cut out by Penner. And Penner throws it towards the near boards, and he clears it out. The whistle blows as the net got dislodged on Trent Miner's side. And it looks like the face-off. They'll put the net back in place. Draw's going to stay in the Grizzlies zone, or is it going to come out to neutral ice? Looks like it's going to be, well, they're talking it over right now. Did the puck exit the zone before the whistle blew? And they say yes, it's going to be a neutral zone draw near Utah's bench.
All righty then.
How about Penner on the penalty kill tonight? He certainly made his presence felt. You know, it looks like Idaho gets to the goal line. They want to center it from there. Penner's done a good job on multiple occasions cutting it off.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a great defensive forward for the Grizzlies all season long. Doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. but does good work.
Idaho wins the draw. They're at neutral ice. Ducharme at center ice. He gets pushed by Penner. As Penner gets the puck, he'll drop it off for Jamison. Left circle, take a righty shot, goes wide. Puck glides along the far boards as A.J. White moves it ahead. As Ducharme crosses center ice, he'll wrap it around the boards. Miner cuts it off behind his net. He'll toss it towards the near side. Murphy cuts it off. Jamison takes it away from him. And good job by Keaton Jamison to clear it out as Ducharme couldn't reach it. Grizzlies make a line change. Great shift by Jamison and Penner as Idaho has to go the length of the ice. 1:06 and counting left in Idaho's power play. Bardo crosses center ice. He'll throw it to the right side for Niram. Niram feeds out in front. A glance off of Thomas's stick. Bardo gets along the end boards. He'll feed it to the left side. Now up top for Hedrick. He gets it taken away. Cameron Wright gets it. He's on the right side. Right with a breakaway. Doesn't have much time. Backhand shot. Finally goes wide. And as Idaho, he didn't have much time there as Idaho was hanging towards his right. Backhand attempt went wide. As Idaho comes back the other way. Hedrick throws it to center ice. And Taryn Pfizer throws it back into the Steelhead zone. 33 seconds left in the power play. Cudla gains center ice, right wing. He'll skate in, right circle, and he'll take a shot that goes wide. As action more from the point in the circle. Hedrick in the high slot gets to Cudla in the right circle. Cudla surveys, he'll feed down the middle. Bouncing off of Pfizer. Goes back to Colton Keller, drops it off for Hedrick. Now to the right side for Cudla. He'll take a lefty shot that goes wide. As he was looking for the top corner and missed. Fans take up a Let's Go Grizzlies chant. Less than 10 seconds left in the power play. Hedrick regains the line down the middle. He'll veer off to the right. He'll take a righty shot that goes wide. As left point, Idaho gets it. Cutler's out of the box. It's another Utah disaster cleanup successful penalty kill. Cutler throws out the center ice. He got knocked down, no call. As Cutler moves ahead to Keller. He bobbled it for a second, and it goes to Kyle Mayhew. Mayhew gets the Cutler around center ice. It bounced off the stick as Cutler collides with Cudla. Now it goes to Misiak, who skates towards the right circle. Misiak backhand shot, saved by Miner. And he holds on. 11:07 left in the third. They're still tied at 2. Good penalty kill by the Grizzlies. And Idaho's power play. Well, it seemed like that was a big part of their game plan coming in. And they've had a ton of power play time, but they've yet to find the back of the net.
We have to give a lot of credit to that Grizzlies penalty kill. And I love what Shearer and Martin have done on the PK, really just taking away shooting lanes, getting sticks on pucks. Really, the Grizzlies as a whole are buying into just blocking shots and sacrificing their body. I mean, we've seen Jamison do it, Penner do it. I mean, what we said about Penner, we could also say about Keaton Jamison. He's been fantastic in this series. And the Grizzlies penalty kill unit has been the difference maker so far in this game.
Looks like one of the linesmen is going to get a new peg. They're going to work on the net and Trent Miner's side as it's been dislodged a few times here tonight. They're going to work on that on the right side of the ice. Fans here are having a good time at Maverick Center. The pivotal game 3. Utah won game to 1, 3-0. It was the first and only time that Idaho has been shut out this season. In game 2, Utah had a 3-1 lead after Dylan Fitz scored an empty netter with just less than 3 minutes left. Ty Pelton-By scored from the right side with 2:05 left. And the Grizzlies held on for a 3-2 victory. I think the interesting thing is to see the balanced attack for the Grizzlies. Nobody has a multiple-point game here so far. Dylan Fitz and Tyler Penner, as well as Corey Thomas and Connor McDonald, are each a +1 tonight. And really, that's the big thing for the Grizzlies is it hasn't just necessarily been one line. You know, even though Martell, Wright, and Betts have been hot here late in the season. But it's really been a balanced attack for the Grizzlies, and that's been a big key to their success. Really, for the Steelheads, that's been a big key to their success, is getting that depth scoring.
That's why this series has been so fun to watch, Tyson, because at any given moment, you got a playmaker on the ice that can score a goal. And really, 2 great defensive units. It's been really just great hockey. I mean, this is playoffs. I mean, it's just hockey at its peak. Like, this is prime hockey right now that we're witnessing. And so for the Grizzlies, it's great that they have depth scorers throughout their lineup. Really solid D-core, great goaltending in Miner and Metcalf. 2 really deep teams going at it here.
Looks like we're back to live action. Draw's getting in the near circle. 11:07 left in regulation. Jack Becker will take the draw against Nolan Ritchie. As Mayhew's out there along with, though, Johnny Walker's on the ice still in Fitz for Utah. Draw won by, actually goes in the corner. Idaho gets it. Franklin from behind the net. Mayhew battling. Mayhew pushes Franklin in the corner. As Idaho in the attack zone, Franklin loses the puck as Fitz slides it across to Walker. He lifts it high into the air. It stays in play near side. Fitz in the corner, one-on-one battle. As puck goes back over to Becker, and he'll clear it out. Big time hit at center ice as Mayhew knocked down Justin Misiak. Then Mayhew pushed Misiak down. That's going to be a penalty on Kyle Mayhew. And now Cody Heiskanen blasts Johnny Walker at neutral ice. I don't know if that's going to be a penalty on Heiskanen as Heiskanen hit Johnny Walker up high and hit him hard. Kyle Mayhew gets a penalty for hitting Justin Misiak. Mayhew can't believe it. I don't know that Heiskanen got a penalty, though, for blasting Johnny Walker. As looks like Idaho is going to get a power play. Or are they? Let's see. Cross-checking is going to be the call. And it does look like Idaho is going to get a penalty.
As they should.
Colton Keller is very upset. He is yelling at the referee. Keller risking getting another penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. Heiskanen taps his stick at the referee. Boy, the referee showing some restraint. He could give an extra 2 minutes to Idaho for barking at the referee. Heiskanen goes to the box. Looks like we'll skate 4-on-4 for 2 minutes with 10:38 left in the third.
Well, Kyle Mayhew got very lucky. I mean, he retaliates, loses his cool, much like Aaron Tho did earlier on in the game. Takes a penalty that really shouldn't be taken. And then just Heiskanen, what are you doing, man? Loses his cool.
I mean, Idaho could add a power
Walker
play
in the face. Now we may have offsetting penalties, and that's very lucky for the Grizzlies.
Misiak went down. It looked like Misiak wanted to go down. I don't know if that was the penalty, if it was earlier than that. And then somewhere near the Utah blue line is when Heiskanen pushed Johnny Walker. Heiskanen gets 2 minutes for cross-checking. Utah's Kyle Mayhew gets 2 minutes for cross-checking. We're skating 4-on-4. Idaho wins the draw. Kawaguchi skates towards the left circle, drops out for White. They look to start to Hedrick, and Wright gets a stick in the way as the puck goes to the right corner. Kyle Betts takes it away as he gets to center ice over to Wright. Wright gets around Hedrick. He'll skate down the middle. Righty shot. It hits the post. No goal as Cameron Wright hit the post. Puck to the left side. It goes to center ice. James Shearer will tap it to Betts near the Idaho blue line near side. Betts gets around. Caldwell skate towards the left circle. Great poke check by Owen Hedrick. Betts tried to get it back but couldn't locate it. Hedrick gets it. He'll throw it across. As A.J. White gets to neutral ice, he crosses center. Right wing, he gains the offensive line. Stops. He's being shadowed by Pfizer. White, good job by Pfizer. It's happened back to center ice. Idaho resets. Halfway through the third period, Casey Johnson battles with Cutler. They'll throw it back to Bardo, who skates behind Idaho's net. 9:42 and counting left in the third. We're still tied at 2. Nobody's scored here so far in the final frame. As Idaho, Ducharme skates towards the right circle. Stops in the corner. He's got great speed. He'll drop it off for Johnson, who lost the puck. Cutler along the near boards. Will throw it off the end wall of Utah's net. As Connor McDonald throws it back to Pfizer. Grizzlies want to be patient with their approach. 43 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Mayhew behind his net will skate towards the far side. Make that Pfizer. As Mayhew's in the box right now, Pfizer glides it to Cutler, who gets to neutral ice. He crosses center. Cutler feeds a right wing pass to McDonald, who gains the line. The Grizzlies captain skates around Idaho's net. McDonald throws it behind his back. Nobody was in the far corner. Penner skates over there. Bardo for Idaho gets it first. He'll throw it to Hedrick as both teams will filter players in and out. Long range pass to Pelton. Bice doesn't connect. And since we're skating 4-on-4, icing is on Idaho. 14 seconds left in the 4-on-4. 8:52 left in the third. We're still tied at 2.
Well, Tyson, late in the season, these one-goal games, these really tight games that went down to the wire, those were the games that the Grizzlies won, and they're part of a reason why the Grizzlies are even in the playoffs right now. I think this benefits the Grizzlies. I don't think Idaho has been in this position many times throughout the course of the season. For the Grizzlies, they've been there, done that. Look for them to get it done potentially here before the period ends.
Utah went 13-6-4 in one-goal games this year, and the game's decided by 1 or 2 goals. The Grizzlies went 22-10-4. Drawn the near circles, won by the Grizzlies. We're still skating 4-on-4. Luke Martin to the high slot, takes a righty shot. It's blocked by his own guy. Betts out in front. Puck goes to Pelton Bice. 5 seconds left in the penalty. We're in the 4-on-4 as Hedrick gets to the offensive blue line. Right point, fires it towards Miner. Miner cuts it off. Both teams back at full strength. As Mayhew stays in there, so does Murphy. We'll make that Heiskanen. Betts gets around Cudla. Puck bounced off the end boards. And puck goes out to the right point. It bounced off of Mayhew. Idaho gets it 2-on-2. Still at skate towards the left side. They drop it off for Hedrick. Hedrick, the league's defenseman of the year. Over to Franklin, who slides it across to Cudla. He's on the right side. Cudla feeds it to the corner. As Bice over towards Misiak. Right wing shot. Saved by Miner. Grizzlies get it as Wright lifts it in the air. Goes over the head of Hedrick, who chases after it. Ritchie chasing after it with Hedrick. Hedrick gets there first. He skates around Idaho's net. About 8 minutes left in regulation as Hedrick feeds left wing pass. It glanced off the stick of Misiak. He skates towards the corner. Pfizer cuts him off. McDonald over towards Thomas. Now in the near corner. Cutler loses his balance. He tripped over the referee. As Idaho, Misiak near goal line, skates towards the middle. He centers to Franklin. Righty shot, and it's blocked. Puck stays in play far side. Now across to Heiskanen. Right side, fires a righty shot. Oh, got redirected. Miner makes an unbelievable save. Boy, the shot connected to the right side. It got redirected. I don't know how Trent Miner did that and didn't dislocate his shoulder. What a stop by Trent Miner. Maybe the best he's made all series.
There must be a magnet in his glove or something, because he wasn't even looking at the puck. He had no idea where that was. And somehow, some way, he's able to snag it. Oh, maybe he did. I think he did get it. I think he just has his eye on the puck the whole time, kind of like a baseball batter. Just has his eyes on the ball. What a read by Trent Miner. Great play.
Puck got redirected, and those are always tough ones for goaltenders, but quick reflexes by the Utah netminder. Idaho wins the draws. Johnson throws to the far side as Colton Keller with an A on his sweater will bounce the puck off of Martin's stick. Puck goes to the far corner. Zach Walker slides it up top for Keller. Skates towards his right. Now to the far goal line. Idaho chips it out in front as there's a loose puck. Miner covers up. Great job by the Grizzlies to box out Miner, who's laying on his stomach. Now he gets some pushing after the whistle. But good job by Jamison. Wait, talking about glue guys. Jamison's been that all year long. Fine, Fitz, Shearer, Martin, Johnny Walker. Good job by all of them on that shift.
Jamison really is the definition of a glue guy, Tyson. I mean, just solid consistency from him all season long. It's carried over here into the playoffs.
Draws giving the far side. 7:19 left in the third. We're tied at 2. Almost has that feeling that whoever scores this next goal could carry it to victory.
Next goal is going to be big. It's likely going to be the game winner, whether it's here in regulation or in overtime potentially if we stay tied.
Idaho has outshot Utah 33-25. Steelheads have a 10-1 edge here in the third period in the shot count. Idaho wins the draw. Johnson left point, fires lefty shot. It gets redirected and glanced off the glass. Sure over there. Kyle Betts gets it along the near side. They'll move it out to center ice. The Rooster chasing after it. He gets the puck. Martell gets around Johnson as he's in the far corner. Martell around the net. So he'll chip it to the near corner. Right couldn't break free as Keller gets the puck. He'll slide it to the left point. Sure cuts it off. He'll spin it across for Martin. Right side, he was looking for a redirection. It goes behind right on the shot. Becker clears it out to center. And Luke Martin gets it back. As he'll peel back into his own end. As he'll tapping off the near boards for right. Martell gets the puck as he had to extend to get it near side. And so spin it along the ball. Grizzlies make a line change. 6.5 minutes left in the third period. It's still tied at 2. Haskin, the near side, moves out to center ice for Keller. He collides with Mayhew. Puck goes back to Utah. Risk skating from right to left during the third period. Pfizer gets over to Ritchie, skates down the middle. Dropping off from Mayhew. Good poke check by Haskin. And the puck glides to the near side. Cutler looks to the center. It bounced off the Steelhead. Though on the right point. As Kawaguchi in the area. Though, we'll throw it towards the end wall. Puck goes back to the right point. Pfizer, one-timer, and it's blocked by Bardo. Idaho comes back the other way. They lift it in the air. As Murphy trying to regain his balance, chases after it, but Miner behind the net will play it. He'll throw it to the near side. Puck goes to the right point. Kawaguchi gets it. And Cutler does a good job pushing the puck out to center ice. Bardo ahead to Kawaguchi, who's playing for the first time this series. He'll dump it in. Mayhew collides with the other number 6, Wade Murphy, in the corner. Puck glides back to the far side, deep in the Grizzlies zone. Boy, it looks like the ice surface playing in tricks. Guys are just falling down on their own. Bardo to the right side, fires towards the net. It gets redirected by Mayhew's stick. Bounces off the skate of Kawaguchi, and Miner covers up. 5:34 left in the third. Timeout on the ice. We're tied at 2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, Surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them, like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
.5:34 left in regulation. As we're tied at 2, Grizzlies and the Steelheads. Draw is going to be in Utah's zone. Idaho's had a big shot edge here in the third period. Steelheads taking 10 shots here in the final frame. The Grizzlies have taken 1, maybe 2. Actually, 1 shot for the Grizzlies here in the third. Trying to figure out the 3 stars of the game. We got a barn burner here tonight. As Cameron Wright and Dylan Fitz have Utah's goals. Idaho has countered with goals from Wade Murphy and Colton Keller. As Grizz win the draw, they lift it into the Steelhead zone. Puck glides towards Adam Shield, the Idaho netminder. He covers up. And that's going to be counted as a shot. That's Utah's second here in the third period. Shots up until the third frame have been pretty even, but Idaho's had a strong edge here in the third. We're still tied at 2.
It's interesting to see the stark contrast in approaches here in this third period. Idaho's been pretty aggressive. The Grizzlies just kind of seem to be playing kind of patient, kind of methodical. We'll see who it pays off for in the end, but very interesting to see.
Drowns give me in the far circle. We're skating 5-on-5. That's been a rarity here tonight. We've had a lot of penalties on either side. As Jamison takes a draw, Penner and Fitz out front. Up top is Corey Thomas and Connor McDonald. Taking the draw for Idaho's Jade Miller. He scored a big goal here to tie the game on April 8th. Idaho's without a couple key players, and Matt Register and Ryan Domowski. Utah's without Dakota Raby, and Zach Sekos has been out all series. Idaho wins the draw. They'll tempen off the near glass. Goes to the Grizzlies zone. Fitz moves out to neutralize for Penner. It goes back to Fitz. He throws a right wing pass behind Jamison. It goes to Kudla. And now Hedrick on the near side and moving out to Willie Niram, who slides it across. It bounced off the Miller stick onto Ducharme, who dumps it in from the left wing at center ice. Miner throws it towards Betts. Betts will chip it out to center ice. Betts gets pushed into his own bench by Willie Niram. As Betts comes back in, but Willie Niram pushed Betts into the Grizzlies bench. Utah didn't like that much. Jared Pike in particular didn't like it. Puck goes to the right corner. Pelton Bice loses his balance. He loses the puck as Thomas was in the area. Utah lifts out to center ice. Haskin gets it at the center ice logo. They'll drift back to the Idaho blue line. Now moves ahead to Franklin. Big time collision between Corey Thomas. He whacked Franklin pretty good. As Thomas got hit up high. Franklin with the puck at neutral ice. And he'll dump it in. Franklin and Thomas, big time collision. Action deep in the Grizzlies zone, but it looks like Thomas took that one hard. Right, throws to the center ice. Picked off by Haskinen. He'll skate to the right wing. Haskinen collides with McDonald. Puck towards the far side. It goes out to center ice. As Martell takes it away from Franklin. It goes back to Idaho. Bice drops off for Franklin. He'll skate to the left circle. Take a righty shot. And it bounces off of Martin's stick and flies out of play. And even 4 minutes left in regulation. We're still tied at 2.
Oh boy, Tyson. Grizzlies hockey is not for the faint of heart. Corey Thomas with an earth-shattering hit on the near blue line.
But Thomas is now in the locker room. Colin Lee, the Grizzlies trainer, is looking at him in the tunnel.
Hopefully he'll be okay.
Looked like Thomas got more of Franklin, but Thomas was the one that, Franklin, I think, hit Thomas up high. That's what happened, even though Franklin got hit too. Looked like Franklin was trying to jar himself from the hit, got Thomas up high. Let's see if he comes back in the game. Grizzlies win the draw. As Cutler chasing after it in the near corner, deep in the Steelhead zone. It goes to the right point. Martin skates towards his left. He's still in the zone. The former second-round pick out of Michigan. As puck goes back towards the near side. Now it's the left circle for Nolan Ritchie. He'll tap it across. It's taken away by Jack Becker. Throws into Grizzlies territory. Finds who gets it neutral ice and move it ahead to Ritchie. Ritchie avoids a check at Keller and dumps it in. Like great first step there by Nolan Ritchie. Looks like he can move from 0 to 60 on a dime just like that. As puck goes back behind Idaho's net. Hedrick with the puck. As he tries to clear it out. It bounced off to Cameron Wright. Wright gets hit, fires towards the net. It gets redirected by an Idaho stick and fired towards the far side. Becker clears it out. Looks like it's going to be icing on Idaho. 3 minutes and 9 seconds left in regulation. We're still tied at 2. Smoke him if you got him.
Well, Tyson, I think the guy to watch out for right now has got to be number 15 in black, Cameron Wright. I mean, this times like this where he thrives. I mean, he had league-leading game-winning goals for rookies. I mean, he's just been fantastic in clutch time. I think he's the guy to watch out for.
Like Corey Thomas got a little bit of blood there on his left cheek. Looked like Franklin got him pretty good, but Thomas is on the bench. Looks like he's ready to go back in. Utah wins the draw as Cameron Wright in the near corner gets pushed by Hedrick. As Wright had 9 game-winning goals this season. Martell battling with 2 Steelheads. Martell feeds up top for sure. Glides it across to Martin. Martin on the right side takes a righty shot, and it's blocked by Bardo. Franklin throws to Becker and gets to center ice. Becker button hooks back in the Steelhead zone. Now Becker will start the attack again as he'll move it ahead. Martell with a hit on Becker. Puck goes back to Idaho. Wade Murphy skates the left circle. Take a righty shot. Saved by Miner. It deflects off of him and goes out of play. 2:37 left in the third. We're still tied at 2, but Murphy took that shot about the same spot that he scored 35 seconds into the game.
Oh, it's a very dangerous chance. It's a very dangerous player, and I love that save from Trent Miner. Really great save, but understands the situation. He's able to just deflect that puck up into the netting. So he let a rebound on that. Murphy has a chance to take that puck back. Below the goal line to center it out in front. So really good play by Miner.
Draw on the far circle. It's won by Idaho. Kawaguchi looks to center. It's taken away by Jamison. And Jamison clears it out. It goes into the Steelhead zone. Johnson chases after it. He'll throw it across as Heiskanen fires it out towards center ice. A glance stop at Kawaguchi and wobbles towards Miner. Gets it to the side of his net. Now to McDonald. Across to Penner on the near side. As Penner gets to center ice, he loses the puck. Good job by Wade Murphy. Penner gets it back and dumps it in. As Schill throws to the near corner, Heiskanen collides with Penner. Puck goes back over to Wade Murphy, who moves ahead to White, who gets to center ice. He'll chip it in near side. Tho battles with Kawaguchi. Tho gets it ahead. Nolan Ritchie crosses center ice. Ritchie collides at the Idaho blue line near side with Hedrick. Puck goes to the corner. Fitz gets the puck. He gets pushed by Hedrick. As Fitz battles, Hedrick with a push. As Hedrick battles 2-on-2, he comes out of the pile with the puck. As Owen Hedrick, the league's best defenseman this season, according to the vote by everybody in the league. Puck goes to the far side. Now back to Hedrick, who's in front of Idaho's net. Steelheads will chip it out to center ice. Mayhew gets it. Left wing. They'll dump it off of Hedrick. It stays at neutral ice. As Mayhew throws it back to Scher at the Utah blue line. He moves ahead to Cutler. Cutler dancing around at center ice. He'll wobble it in to the side of the puck as Schill will throw it back to the near side as Cutler goes down. Idaho with the puck deep in their own zone. 1:12 and counting left in the regulation. We're tied at 2. Nobody has scored here so far in the final frame of regulation. As Idaho gets the puck, they'll throw it out to center ice. Ducharme cross the center. He gets around Martell. He skates towards his left. He'll take a lefty shot. And he goes high off the glass. Betts gets it. He skates along the far side. He gets neutralized. He flies across center. Betts with good speed. Gets around to Steelhead. Betts ships it out in front. Bounces off a shield. And the Idaho goaltender is able to hold on. As what a play by Kyle Betts. He skated along the far side. Got behind the goal line. Then tried to chip it back out in front. And somehow Schill is able to intercept it.
Well, and that's when Kyle Betts is at his best. Is when he's just using his speed. Kind of just squeaks his way along the far side boards. He's able to just dangerously backhand that thing into the crease. I think for a second, I don't know if Shield knew that was. Eventually, he was able to get a handle on it.
Could have bounced it off his Shield there if he would have had the right angle on it.
But those are the chances that the Grizzlies are going to need. I think that this next goal in this game, that's how it's going to be scored. It's just going to be in an unconventional way.
47 seconds left in regulation. Betts will come to the bench, and somebody's going to replace him. It's going to be Keaton Jamison. As the draw is going to be in the far circle. Last time the Grizzlies were in postseason overtime, I believe, was game 1 of the Toledo series. If not, maybe sometime later in the Toledo series here at Maverick Center. And in overtime, unlike the regular season, it's just like it is in the NHL. You put 20 minutes on the scoreboard clock, and you play until somebody scores. Off the draw, left side, Martin's shot is blocked by Becker. Foot race to the Utah blue line. Shearer gets it, moves it ahead. Idaho takes it away. Cutler skates towards the right circle. Gets around Shearer. Cutler feeds it out in front. Idaho fires a shot. It goes wide. Miner's on his side. Left wing. Cutler shot. Saved by Miner. What a scramble play. There's a lot of Grizzlies down. Cutler was to the left side. Miner had finally gotten his balance. And Cutler just fired it into Miner's pads.
That's his biggest save of the night, Tyson. And I think that's the most difficult for him all game. Because for a brief second before he's able to make that save, Luke Martin falls on top of him. And somehow he's able to regain his posture, get back to his feet, and make that save.
Looked like Misiak nudged Martin into Miner. Miner is down, and then Cutler Was able to get a shot from the left side, but by then Miner had regained his balance and was able to make the stop. 28 seconds left in regulation. We're still tied at 2. Utah wins the draws. McDonald will chip it towards the left point. Cudla keeps it in. Cudla's had a great game as Murphy skates towards the left side. We got a penalty on Utah. Hedrick, right side shot, is blocked by Penner and flies out of play. They've been calling it tight all night, and hooking's going to be the call, and Connor McDonald can't believe it. But the Grizzlies captain is going to the box. 14.8 seconds left in the third. It's not necessarily the third period that you're thinking about. It's the first 2 minutes of overtime, possibly.
I agree, but I think that this is a big face-off here because if Idaho is able to win this, there's enough time on the clock to where they could cycle it, maybe get a shot off. Grizzlies need to be aware of that. You play until the horn. And this is a big draw here. They need to win this face-off. Looks like Jameson's going to go out and take it.
14.8 seconds left in regulation. Nobody has scored here so far in the final frame. Connor McDonald gets 2 minutes for hooking. 19:45 into the third period. Draws in the far circle. A.J. White will take it against Keaton Jamison. As a draw won by Utah. Shearer gets around Utah's net. Over to Penner on the near side. Penner in the corner. Avoids a check of Murphy. Now Penner and White collide. Kawaguchi behind the net. They'll chip it out in front. Taken away by Jamison. Then he clears it out. And now he'll do it for regulation. We almost had a feeling it was going to come down to this. We go to overtime. It'll be a 15-minute intermission, and then we'll have an overtime session. And we will play until somebody wins, until somebody scores. Obviously, we'll play until somebody wins. We'll play until somebody scores. It's different from the regular season. It's just like you see in the NHL. And I think the thrill about overtime playoff hockey, you have absolutely no clue when that game-winning goal is going to get scored.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a gut check for the Grizzlies. This is the biggest moment for them throughout the course of the season. Time and time again, they've risen to the occasion, but this is the biggest stage to see if they can get it done.
The Grizzlies have played amazing hockey here through 3 games in this series. Utah won 2 games in Boise at Idaho Central Arena. Game 3 heads to overtime, tied at 2. Idaho fans would like to remember the last time they were in the postseason in 2019, where they won 4 straight overtime games against the Grizzlies. And Utah would like to remember happier times last season in extra session hockey. Can't beat overtime playoff hockey, and we got it here at Maverick Center. But when we come back, we got some time to kill as they'll resurface the ice. And Guy Chiarenza and I will recap regulation, talk about what's going to make the difference here tonight in overtime. As we're through 3 periods here at Maverick Center, and we're tied at 2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps.
Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
Welcome back to Maverick Center. I'm Tyson Whiting. Chiarenza will join us shortly as nature calls. We're about set for overtime. Boy, you're talking about overtime playoff hockey, what's at stake, and really for the Grizzlies, what's at stake is a 3-0 series lead with a victory tonight. As Utah came into this series, the heavy underdog as Idaho won 58 regular season games. They won just about every league award there was to win outside of Hank Crone winning Rookie of the Year and the MVP award. And, you think about when the playoffs start, they reset everything at 0-0. The Grizzlies won the first two games of the series at Idaho Central Arena. Tonight, the Grizzlies, they really are in quite a battle. Neither team scored in the third period. Idaho outshot Utah 13-3 in the third period. Idaho leads the shot count 36-27 for the game. Idaho scored on their first shot of the evening as Wade Murphy, 35 seconds in, found the back of the net. He had 21 regular season goals. It's his first in the series. Idaho led 1-0 after Murphy's goal. The Steelheads outshot the Grizzlies 15-14 in the first period, and the Steelheads had a 1-0 lead. Grizzlies got on the board 8:16 in as Cameron Wright found the back of the net on the power play. Luke Martin and Kyle Betts with the assists. Grizz are 1 for 8 on the power play. Idaho so far is 0 for 6. Dylan Fitz made it a 2-1 game as he scored 28 seconds after Wright scored. Fitz scored 8:44 in. It was a 2-on-1. Messner was in the right circle, fed it across to Fitz, and he had a one-timer, and Dylan didn't miss. Messner and Tyler Penner with the assists. Idaho responded with the tying goal, 11:46 into the second. Colton Keller with his first of the series. Owen Hedrick and Jade Miller with the assists. Now, keep in mind the Grizzlies are going to be shorthanded as Idaho will have the man advantage the first minute 46 of overtime as Connor McDonald got a hooking minor, 19:45 into the third period. So watch out for Idaho, who's been due on the power play. Tonight they're 0 for 6. And over their last 10 games, the Steelheads are 0 for 31. Power play shots in the third period. Utah had 1. Idaho didn't have any. Power play shots through 3 periods. The Grizzlies with 15, and Idaho had 10. As Chiarenza rejoins us, it's been hard hitting. A lot of quick decisions with the puck. A lot of good goaltending on both sides. And this is just about what you want for playoff hockey. It's been very intense. And I think, the officials, it's kind of interesting. Sometimes you see them let both teams play. They've been calling it a little bit tight here tonight. And neither team's, it's almost like the effort's just been there so much so that neither team's really been able to adjust to that. And so we've had a lot of power plays here so far. And here to start overtime, critical penalty kill for the Grizzlies.
It's going to be huge, Tyson. I think very interesting call at the end of the regulation. About 15 seconds left to go. They call that hooking penalty on McDonald. It's almost like they knew that we were going to go to overtime, so they continue to make those calls, and they set that precedent early on in the game that they were going to call those penalties, and so I got to give them credit. I mean, they stuck with it to the end. They didn't stray away from what they set, so I guess that's that. But Grizzlies' penalty kill has been the story of the game so far. They've been great, but his skill is going to be everything. I think Idaho is going to come out here with a lot of passion, a lot of fury, try and get this thing done on the power play, because I think they know if they don't, Grizzlies are going to take that momentum and potentially go the other way.
Both teams tied at 2 here tonight. The Grizzlies so far in the series have outscored the Steelheads 8-4. It's kind of amazing when you think about what Idaho did in the regular season. As I mentioned before, once you get to the postseason, everything's reset 0-0. And think about some of the key contributors for the Grizzlies. It's been guys that they picked up late in the season. Brandon Cutler has played with 3 different AHL teams this year. And between that's played outstanding for the Grizzlies. And he's been unbelievable tonight. He's probably been Utah's most active forward. Getting Kyle Betts late in the regular season. He spent just about the entire year in the AHL with Abbotsford. I think about Luke Martin and Kyle Mayhew. Those have been 2 active defensemen for the Grizzlies. And Utah picked them up very late in the regular season. That's really what it comes down to, is that, it's just the Grizzlies have picked up a lot of players here late in the season. It's really improved their club, whereas it seems like Idaho has just kind of maintained everything. Their roster's been very similar the entire year.
I think all the additions that the Grizzlies made really turned this team into a playoff contender. I think that the addition of Kyle Mayhew might be the biggest out of them all. We're all excited to see Luke Martin come back, but Kyle Mayhew really has been solid for the Grizzlies on the blue line defensively, and also providing a jolt of offense from time to time really has been big for them. And Nolan Ritchie has also looked like a pro ever since he came over to the Grizzlies. We knew he was capable of doing so. Last season had 70 points in 67 games with the Brandon Wheat King, so we know he's capable of scoring. And so far in a Grizzlies uniform, he's been great.
I think what that does, it just kind of closes the gap that you see in the regular season. Idaho, 119 points, and Utah was 74. But coming into this series, it felt like it was a lot more even of a series than it looked like on paper. If you just look at the pure standings and look at some of Idaho's stats and really some of the Utah's guys, but it's a lot more even of a matchup than we saw, than really what the standings would say.
Well, and I think that's because, you're exactly right. Idaho is pretty much at the same roster the entire season. But the Grizzlies, if you think back to January, this is a much different Grizzlies team than what we saw back then. And it's a better team. You talked about those additions. The Grizzlies right now can't go toe-to-toe with the Steelheads because they made those additions, made their lineup a whole lot deeper. And all the guys are buying into the coach's system that they want to implement. And so you think about the Grizzlies team now, it's a heck of a lot better than what we saw earlier on in the season. And as a result of that, they put the league on notice.
At one point in the regular season, either in January or February, the Grizzlies found themselves in last place in the Mountain Division. And now they are just 1 goal away from taking a 3-0 series lead over the Idaho Steelheads. Regardless of what happens here tonight, we'll be here on Friday evening. 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off. That's going to be a ton of fun. You want to get your tickets to experience live playoff hockey at UtahGrizzlies.com. We want to see Grizzmania in full force. Attendance tonight, 4,328, 43-28. Here on a Wednesday night. It's a pretty good Wednesday crowd, maybe the second best Wednesday crowd the Grizzlies have had all season. And you're looking around, and it'll be interesting to see how many people are going to stick around. After all, it is a Wednesday night. Who knows how long we're going to be here. We could be here another 2 minutes worth of game time. We could be here another 2 hours. Who really knows? And that's, I think, the beauty of live hockey, of overtime hockey in the playoffs. I have absolutely no clue when this game is going to end.
That's the beauty of it. That's what makes it so fun, is just the uncertainty. It is a school night, but I'll tell you what, just check your kids out of school tomorrow. Just, call in sick to work, whatever, because this right here is going to be entertaining. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the Maverick Center is rocking. This atmosphere that the Grizz fans have built here all season long. the Grizzmaniacs, Grizzmania. Oh, it's been awesome. When we're calling games in the lobby, it's just not the same.
Yep.
It's not the same at all. I miss the roar of the crowd. I miss the roar of the Grizzmaniacs. Great to have them here in the building tonight, and I think that might be the difference here in overtime for the Grizzlies.
We're tied at 2, and when we come back in 1 minute, we'll have overtime here at Maverick Center. Don't forget that Idaho's on the power play for the first minute 46 of the extra session. It's the Grizzlies 2 and the Steelheads 2, and we're back in 2 minutes on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
High drama here at Maverick Center. We're tied at 2. Neither team scored in the third period. Idaho outshot Utah 13-3 in the third frame. Steelheads will be on the power play the first minute and 46 seconds of the extra session. And it's just like the playoffs in the NHL. We'll play until somebody scores a goal. Could be here in 30 seconds, could be here for 30 minutes worth of game time. One guy to watch out for is going to start the third period for Idaho's Jordan Kawaguchi. He did not play in either of the first 2 games this series. Kawaguchi has had some good looks from the left side. Patrick Cudla and Owen Hedrick have been outstanding. They're going to be out there to start the third period. A.J. White will take the draw, and Willie Niram is going to be on the ice as well. For Utah, Tyler Penner and Keaton Jamison are the 2 forwards. The starting defensive pairing for overtime is James Shearer and Luke Martin. The officials have called it tight here tonight. Draw's going to be at center ice. Utah will be skating from left to right as we see it on Close Sports. Your mind's eye, see it on YouTube. We're actually seeing it live here from section 114. Idaho skating from our right to our left. Steelheads win the draw. They're 0 for the last century on the power play. As Cudla throws to the center ice for Niram. Now to A.J. White, who drops off for Kawaguchi. He'll get to Cudla, feeds it across to Hedrick. He's on the right side. Hedrick with the righty shot, and it goes wide off the glass. Kawaguchi gets hit by Penner. Penner gets it, trying to clear it out. And Hedrick kept it in. Hedrick across to Niram. He'll take a righty shot, and he scores, and the Steelheads win as Willie Niram fires away from the right side. It got past Trent Miner, and 26 seconds into overtime. The Steelheads' long power play drought comes to an end as Idaho wins to tally their first victory of the series. Final score from Maverick Center, Idaho 3, Utah 2. And unless it got redirected, looks like Willie Niram is the hero tonight. Game 4 is on Friday night. As Hedrick slid it over to Niram. Niram to the right side. It just got past Trent Miner. It was one of those, I'm not sure about the vision that Miner had. One of those that the Utah netminder would like back. As Idaho victorious heading to the locker room. And they are celebrating not as if it was a normal game. The way they are celebrating, you could tell that one meant so much to their season because of what happened the first 2 games at Maverick Center and them knowing that they couldn't fall behind 3-0. Tough loss for the Grizzlies. Niram gets the goal. Owen Hedrick with the assist. Time of the overtime goal. 26 seconds into overtime, and when we come back in 30 seconds, the post-game report as Idaho's victorious tonight, 3-2 in overtime on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Final score from Maverick Center, Idaho 3, Utah 2, as Grizzlies lead the best-of-7 series 2-1. But Idaho comes through in game 3 as the Steelheads coming into overtime were 0 for 31 on the power play, and they finally connected on their 7th power play of the contest. As Willie Niram was just all alone to the right side, it was a one-on-one battle, maybe 2-on-1. Over in the left point, Penner was battling with Hedrick. Hedrick just kind of slid it across to Niram, and then Niram was all alone to the right side. It was one of those, it just kind of got through Trent Miner. That's one of those things that sometimes you overthink it and shoot it over the net, or you shoot it low and it gets redirected a few places. Niram just didn't really overthink it. He just kind of slid it through Trent Miner, and that was all she wrote, as Idaho comes away with the 3rd game. And considering how things went for them in the first 2 games, Idaho desperately needed it. This series obviously is still anybody's, as Utah here on Friday needs to respond with a Game 5. But we do know one thing: Game 5 will be necessary on Saturday. That's what gets decided here tonight. Obviously, the series could still go either way, but Game 5 will now be necessary on Saturday. You can get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com for Saturday night, as will be necessary. Utah still leads the best-of-7 series 2-1. Tough loss, but you knew that Idaho was going to come back, and you knew that if the Grizzlies were going to win, they were going to have to really play above and beyond. It's just tonight, Idaho, you get enough power plays, you eventually connect on one, and Idaho did there early in overtime.
It's a tough way to go down, Tyson, in overtime like that, especially on the penalty kill. But, I don't know if we can necessarily put this loss on the penalty kill. The Grizzlies' penalty kill did such a great job through the course of regulation. They went 1 for 8 in this game. It's just one of those things where Penner has a chance to clear the puck out of the zone. He's unable to do it. Really probably should have made more of an effort to get that puck out of the zone. And the Steelheads take it, and then they slide it over to the right side. That's all it took. You just fire a shot on net, and we knew it was going to be one of those tip-ins out in front, screen, whatever it was. Miner wasn't able to get a hold of it. And so now we've got a series, and I think the Grizzlies knew that this was a big one. You either go up 3-0 in the series, or you let the Steelheads back in, and it's 2-1. Unfortunately, it's the latter. And for the Grizzlies, I do think that they fought hard here tonight, but I can't help but think about the way that they came out in the first period. That kind of let them down here in this game, and also the power play, going 1 for 8. You get 8 cracks out on the power play, you should have more than 1. So for the Grizzlies, I think that's where this game was lost.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's just, you almost have that feeling it's going to be a long series, 6 or 7 games. You almost have that feeling that it's just going to be one of those, it's just going to be a real nail biter. It's going to be one of those epic series that you talk about decades from now as being a classic. Especially after Utah went to Idaho Central Arena, where the Steelheads only lost 4 games all regular season. Utah went down there and won both games. Game 3, you knew that Idaho was going to put their best foot forward. They scored 35 seconds into the game as Wade Murphy scored on the first shot of the contest, his first of the series. He had 21 in the regular season. A.J. White and Dawson Barta with the assists. Idaho led 1-0 after 1 period. They outshot the Grizzlies 15-14. Utah got on the board as Cameron Wright scored a power play tally, 8-16 in, with Luke Martin and Kyle Betts getting the assists. And then 28 seconds later, Dylan Fitz found the back of the net. It was a 2-on-1. Messner was to the right side, fed it across to Fitz, and Dylan Fitz on a one-timer just fired it past Adam Scheel. And just like that, all the momentum was in Utah's favor. And then Idaho got a power play halfway through the second period after Aaron Tho got a cross-checking minor, 9:42 in. Idaho didn't score on that power play, but they did score 4 seconds after the power play ended. And so they did get a little bit of momentum after the power play ended, and they ended up getting the tying goal. 2-2 was a score there, and it stayed a 2-2 game throughout the rest of regulation. And then 26 seconds into overtime, Owen Hedrick was to the left side, slid it across to Niram. Willie Niram, who's been a real role player for Idaho, a guy that scored 17 goals in 53 games. He was a plus 23. And he's one of Idaho's bigger players physically at 6'4" and 225 pounds. Just kind of slid it past Trent Miner. And it was just, just one of those things where it wasn't necessarily top shelf. It wasn't down low. It just kind of got through Miner. I think it was more stick side. I think it was stick side that Niram got him in. And who knows about vision? Sometimes you get some guys cluttered out in front of the net. Maybe, it wasn't redirected, but it's possible that Miner didn't have clear vision of the Niram shot. Just that was the difference in the game. You could tell early in the third period, Idaho wanted to set up they wanted to ramp up the intensity offensively. They outshot Utah 13-3. and they had the only look in overtime. It's still anybody's series, but I think if you're the Grizzlies, you want to, it's one of those you just have to look at the adjustments Idaho made here tonight. Obviously, it's going to be that chess match between Everett Sheen, the Idaho coach, and Ryan Kanasowicz and Jared Pike, the Utah Brain Trust. One of those things that, this is going to be a series that, you're going to have to deliver some punches and you're going to have to take some punches theoretically because, you're going to get the best of both clubs. Idaho's going to get the best of Utah and Utah's going to get the best of Idaho. And, it doesn't mean that game 4 is going to be a must-win for either club, really. But if you're Utah taking a 3-1 series lead, knowing that in the 2-3-2 format, games 6 and 7 would be in Boise, for Utah, obviously game 4 turns into not necessarily a must-win, but certainly a critical one here for this series.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think we all wanted the Grizzlies to go up 3-0. I mean, of course we did, but yeah, I think that we all wanted that Columbus Blue Jackets moment, but I think deep down inside, we knew that this was going to be a long series. We knew it was going to have to be a grind for the Grizzlies. Give credit to the Grizz. They stuck with the Steelheads in this game, but I mean, the statistics from the third period, 13-3 on shots, that's not good enough. And I really think that the turning point in this game was that penalty by Aaron Tho. I mean, the Grizzlies got the 2 goals back-to-back, 28 seconds. The crowd was roaring. Pfizer has a chance on the breakaway, almost makes it 3-1. And then Aaron Tho just takes that penalty, man. It breaks my heart. No, it's tough to see.
Well, with the way they're officiating, you're not going to get away with anything tonight.
No, and that's why you can't lose your cool like that in a game like this where they're going to make that call. And they made it. They made that call, and Idaho gets that power play, and it's just that's it. That was the turning point. And ever since then, the Steelheads kind of had control of the game. And for the Grizzlies, it was really tough just trying to climb back into that one. And they almost did it, which gives me hope, which gives me optimism for game 4. They almost did it. But in the end, it was the Steelheads that got the win. So I think it's going to lay heavy on our hearts for the night. And we're going to have trouble sleeping here tonight, of course. I mean, it's tough to lose in overtime. I was going to have trouble
sleeping anyway.
It's not fun to lose in overtime in that way. But I think there's a lot of optimism going into game 4. The Steelheads, I think, were probably at their best in this game. Best, I think they've looked all series long. And the Grizzlies, once again, went toe-to-toe with them, took it to overtime, and only lost by a goal. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be a long series. It's going to be a grueling one. But for the Grizzlies, these next 2 games at Maverick Center, I think you need to win at least one. I think you need to take that 3-2 series lead if you have to going into Idaho. But realistically, you got to take care of business on home ice, and they got 2 chances to do it.
Idaho has won 8 of the first 9 meetings here at Maverick Center this season, where Utah's had really more success against Idaho over at Idaho Central Arena. The road team has won each of the first 3 games of this series, and it's kind of feels like it's going to be a classic. You want to make sure to come on down to Maverick Center. And don't forget, because Idaho did win tonight, Game 5 is now going to be necessary on Saturday night. We know where we're going to be, as Friday night and Saturday night will be here at Maverick Center. 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off both Friday and Saturday for games 4 and 5. We want to see everybody here at Maverick Center. We want to see a good crowd. We had 4,328 tonight. We want to see a big crowd here on Friday and Saturday. And considering how many comments there were about the tradition of Feed the Grizz going away, hey, hats off to whoever it was. I mean, there was no fish being thrown on the ice, and then Utah got that second goal 28 seconds after the first goal got scored.
It's because we had that momentum.
The momentum.
You throw those fish, it stops the game.
One, you get 2. You
get at least a 5-minute delay. Maybe the Grizzlies don't score that second goal. So
tonight there were no fish being thrown on the ice. The Grizzlies were able to carry that momentum and scored their second goal. 3 stars of the game. Number 3 star is Colton Keller, who had 1 goal for Idaho and was a +1. He's the 3rd star. Number 2 star, Wade Murphy, who had 7 shots, and he was active all night. He had 1 goal and is the 2nd star. Number 1 star is Willie Niram, who scored the game winner 26 seconds into overtime. Idaho goaltender Adam Shield stopped 25 of 27. Utah's Trent Miner stopped 34 of 37. Idaho ended up outshooting Utah 37-27 as the Steelheads get on the board in this series. 2-1 Utah, and game 4 is going to be on Friday night. We'll see what the cat and mouse game on the special teams looks like, and it's going to be the same 2 referees. We might end up seeing a lot of the special teams on Friday night for game 4. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the next 48 hours or so, getting ready for game 4. Got any final thoughts before we head out of here tonight?
Tough pill to swallow. Tough loss for the Grizzlies. We're right back at it here on Friday. And decent crowd here tonight, Wednesday night. I get it. But I think we can pack the Maverick Center. We could totally pack this house. Get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com. You want to be here. I want this building packed to the brim. I want the roof to come off because of how loud you guys are and how many people are in this building. It's going to take all of us. It's going to take all of Grizzmania at its fullest force in this next game. So I want to see this place packed. I want to sell out. And I think we can do it.
Make sure to get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com or call 801-988-8000 during business hours, preferably.
Yeah.
And enjoy some Grizzlies playoff hockey with us here as the Grizzlies are on the hunt for the 2023 Kelly Cup. Their toughest challenge might end up being here in the first round against the Idaho Steelheads. As Game 4 will be on Friday night, 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off. It'll be interesting to see if Dakota Raby or Zach Sekos ends up returning to the Grizzlies lineup. Both guys are out due to injury. Idaho had a couple guys that are big guns that missed tonight's game. Matt Register, Ryan Domowski were both out. Be interesting to see if either one is good to go for Friday as well. And we'll probably see the same goaltending matchup with Adam Schill in net for Idaho and Utah's Trent Miner. Just an outstanding pair of goaltenders who look like they're going to have a bright future in pro hockey. Well, that'll wrap things up. Looks like everybody is cleaning the place. It looks like the crowd is heading home. Once again, the final score tonight in overtime, Idaho wins 3-2 as Willie Neerum scored the winning tally 26 seconds into overtime from the right wing. Make sure to go to UtahGrizzlies.com and catch Kiki Crumb's post-game story. And she's typing it up right now. Cam McGuire over on the other side. The Idaho broadcaster is able to make the trip. We hope to see everybody here at Maverick Center for Game 4 of the Mountain Division Semifinal Best-of-7 Series. Utah still leads the set 2-1. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast and not necessarily the final outcome. Once again, in 2 hours and 55 minutes and in front of 4,328 here at Maverick Center, the Idaho Steelheads in overtime defeat the Grizzlies 3-2. For Guy Chiarenza, I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is.